Good evening, Tucker sports fans. It's the Swanton Welding pregame show with your host, Scott Barrett.
A 14-0 Liberty Center team taking on a 14-0 South Range team at Parma High School at the state semifinal. Liberty Center, Canfield South Range. Another Friday, Liberty Center football. Another week and another on the 50 with Coach Casey Moeller, and this season just continues to seem like you've been at this thing for 3 straight years, Casey. Do you ever get a break?
Usually December, I take a break.
I see where Coach Cooper from Defiance had resigned, and he had sent a letter to Jerry Beauty, the AD, and the community saying, you know, this is a big commitment. And I know Dick Cromwell, former legendary coach at St. Francis, said it's a lot on young coaches, and you're no longer a young coach because you've been coaching a long time, but I do think it's a conversation to be had, the extended playoff and the things you guys have to do with the extra coaching days. It can be grinding for you guys. It really can be. It's a different game than when I coached.
Yeah, especially you get at this point in the season, it is a grind. You get, I think the only thing that really keeps you going is, you know, where you're at in the playoffs and things like that, and you know you want to put the best product out there you can, so you got to keep going. But it's a long season, and the kids have been, you know, working just as long.
Yeah.
And so
that was my next comment. Then you guys, and you get the kids.
Yeah. And for the assistant coaches, it's a huge commitment away from their families, and maybe some of those families like them being away.
Char loved it when I was gone. She loved that.
But you know, the kids, you know, we back off a little bit of what we do in practice because it starts to wear you down a little bit. So when we want to stay fresh, but yeah, I think you get a lot of coaches that need to just recharge. And I think Travis, I could see him coming back one day. I know him. Great coach, really respect him. Sent him a message, you know, when I read that. And so maybe if he recharges a little bit and maybe comes back as an assistant where, you know, you don't have to have quite the commitment that the head coach does, that's a possibility. But he's a great coach, and you hate to see really good coaches like that step away.
14-0. I mean, you're 14-0. I know there's expectations in that locker room, but you never count on anything. Certainly coming out of Milan Edison, that was quite a performance last week. I think it surprised a lot of people. Certainly surprised me, the guys in the booth. We anticipated another, you know, not saying with our limitations on offense, but who we are on offense has a tendency to keep opponents a little closer at times, and you did that against Oak Harbor. But just after that first drive, it seemed like you and Matt Bryan and the defensive staff locked down on that quarterback keep, that option kind of look, and dominated that football game. You had to be pleased with that.
Yeah, like you said, outside of that first drive, you know, I thought our defense was just outstanding.
Lights out, yeah.
And with that first couple plays, it really just took us a little bit to see that offense run by a team that runs that offense. You know, our scout team did a great job of showing us things, but you're not going to simulate what they do in 1 week in practice. And the quarterback was just kind of turning it up a little bit sooner than what we anticipated, and they found a groove. And you know, once we, you know, relaxed a little bit and just kind of refocused on what we were doing, you know, the guys up front really did a good job of clogging things up and allowed, you know, our level 2 and level 3 guys to really run to the ball, and those guys made tackles and they tackled together.
A lot of people try to derive how competitive the next game's going to be when you face opponents that you don't see, the fans. Mm-hmm. I know you do a meticulous game study, and you guys do a good job of collaborating and figuring out, you know, they're not as good, or they are as good, or they're better up front, and you never really know because you don't play them. That's kind of one of the neat things about the playoffs. The Oak Harbor, from Liberty Benton, who I thought had lots of threats and pretty big up front, to Oak Harbor, which I thought was a great war with a bunch of seniors and some really good players, to Milan Edison. When you look at that 3-game stretch, of those 3 teams, now if you had to go back and replay them, would you consider that Oak Harbor team still the way they played you because of the seniors, the grit, the determination, or did you think Liberty Benton had the weapons to really hurt you? Because it seems like you've handled all 3 teams really well, but that Oak Harbor game seemed to be one you could go back to and kind of base as a fan. This is what it looks like going forward.
Well, I think with Oak Harbor, they're more seasoned than what Liberty Benton was.
Yes.
They're a little bit more senior heavy. They've been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys were 3rd and 4th year starters. And they probably, in comparison to Milan Edison, had a little bit more size up front. So when, we had that advantage against Milan Edison inside with our size, against Oak Harbor, we didn't have that. So a lot of times it can just be, what's the matchup look like? Where do you have an advantage? Maybe where does the other team have an advantage? So maybe Oak Harbor matched our strength a little bit more, and then had some advantages in other places. And certainly Milan Edison had some advantages in certain places. But I thought as a team we used our advantage, we maximized that advantage to the best of our ability.
I had some inside intel that we were going to put number 75 and number 42. That would be an example of basically applying our advantage up front, and it worked really well.
Yeah, we've, early in the season, we had some injuries. Hunter was playing center, and then he got hurt and came back, and we really limited him. It was going to be defense only, but as the weeks have gone on and he's gotten healthier, we're looking on the sideline on offense, and we're talking about one of our best blockers is just standing there. So just trying to find a way to get him on the field, and again, maximize what we have and just try to be creative with it. And it also, it gives Xander a little bit of a break. It gives Noah a little bit of a break and allows them to see what's going on, and allows us to, rotate guys in and out and do some different formation packages and things like that. So, we're just trying to utilize what we have to the best of our ability.
The size component with Weimer and Xander Zeiter and Giesge and Spangler, this has got to be, and the depth of that size. We're always known for small guards and tough guys and all those, a little like Milan Edison wrestlers. But man, we seem to have a significant amount of guys up front, and it's functional size. These guys are really good blockers in the run game and do a great job pass protecting. So kind of a, you innovated a little bit from Rex Lindgren, and I, my feeling and your feeling about Rex. We love the man, but he got very John Riggins fullback focused, and you being a Redskin fan, I look at your offense, and I mean, it's like you've innovated in reverse. You've been very innovative in the run game, and again, you just haven't. The passing game is there if you need it. You work on it, but it just feels like you've gotten a lot more creative, and it looks almost like throwback football. Bigger, harder. The offensive line just looks like they're playing top end. When I look at our offensive line and compare it to others, that's where I start when I'm scouting Liberty Center. Is our offensive line is better than theirs. Our offensive line looks like theirs. And talk about your innovation on offense and this run game.
Well, talking about the linemen first, we do have some big kids. For Liberty Center big, we'll say. They're not big kids, but they're Liberty Center big. 6'2", they're giants around here. We don't have 300-pound, 6'5", 310-pound kids walking around here. We've got 240, 250, 260, maybe pushing 270, but they're not sloppy. And you can have, every team's got 300-pound kids, but some of them are just big sloppy kids that can't move or do anything. Our guys can move, and that's kind of a credit to their strength training. We do a lot of plyometric work, agility stuff, and those guys aren't D1 fast, but they're functionally fast for what we need them to do, and explosive and things like that. And then offensively, what we're looking to do on offense is maximize what we've got, and we feel like we've got three backs that can all run the ball. And offensively, teams want to be diverse, and certainly we do too. That doesn't just mean 50% run, 50% pass. We're looking to be diverse, that we're going to run between the guards, we're going to run between the tackles, and we're going to run on the edges. And we can go both ways. We can go tight end, wing flank. We can go tackle, wing flank. We can go split end. We want to be diverse in where we attack defenses in the run game, and we want to be diverse with who we're giving the ball to. Now, certainly, Waylon is going to be our primary ball carrier, but if we look at the touches and carries throughout the season, we're pretty diverse with, we give the ball to, Garrison probably 7 to 8 to 10 times a game. Thomas is going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 carries a game, and then Waylon might get 15 to 20. And then we throw Grady in there a little bit, and then a couple of passes sprinkled in here or there. So we do try to be as diverse as we can within our offense in making sure that we're using what we're good at in those type of players.
So it's just not your love for the old Redskins, the Hogs, and John Riggins, because I kind of felt like in the stands the other day, they're like, Barrett, I said, Casey really has a heart to load them up with heavies and just pound with John Riggins. But, I mean, you grew up, that was a running era, and you enjoyed that. And as a defensive coordinator, I think that's where a lot of your roots were, defend the run.
Well, yeah, but and you got to look at, in today's football, even in high school, 90% of the teams are spread, shotgun.
Yep.
They're not downhill, power gap, pull and kick out type of stuff. And so what we do is maybe a little foreign to some teams and a little bit unique.
And they don't prepare for it a lot in practice.
It's hard to prepare for that in a week. You got to be preparing for that in August. Now, I think there are some I think we're seeing some things go back to that a little bit. Yeah. Watching film with South Range, they played some teams that were double tight, stacked eye, T formation. So they've seen that. And I think now teams are realizing, maybe we need to go back to that because we don't have the athletes or the quarterback or the line or whatever to run the true spread air raid offense.
A little back to the future. You re-innovated yourself. You've been around long enough to see it come back around. I agree. South Range, Canfield. We remember what happened 2 years ago at Clyde. That was a disaster, but they were a great football team. I think the last, losses you've had, 3 have been against state champs. Is that right?
Yeah, as far as I can remember.
Do we think through that? I mean, you think through a Cary and you think through a South Range and you go down to Perry. Liberty Center hadn't lost much, but they do lose to state champs, so I guess it's somewhat acceptable, even though no losing is. South Range, number 1 in the AP, 14-0. I thought maybe they had a loss or 2, but they do not have a loss or 2. They think they tied Ironton in Division 5 in the AP. This is a top quality football team and a team that, when you think about Canfield, you think about culture. And you think about blue collar and a little bit like what Liberty Center is, a working class community. And talk about your overall impressions of what you've seen of Canfield.
Well, you go back to 2 years ago when we played them. They put it to us, and
they were
again,
loaded. They
were a great team. We had some matchup issues. They had some outstanding skill guys that they got the ball to in space that it was hard for us to contend with it. And they were good up front. They were big. They were strong. Their quarterback was big. So we learned, hopefully we learned a lot from that game. We've certainly watched it and analyzed it a lot. This South Range team is a little bit different. They're not as big. The quarterback's a different, I would compare the quarterback 2 years ago to Josh Allen. Big, strong, physical runner.
Yeah, he is.
This quarterback would be more like a Lamar Jackson type, where he's real slippery, quick, and fast. Still have a big, strong running back. The line is not as big, but they're very athletic. They pull a lot. They move well. They get hats on people, and they're tough. They're hard-nosed kids, and so they're doing the same thing schematically on offense. It's just, again, they have different players that they accentuate, and they're still really good, and they're going to be hard to defend. Defensively, again, they're not quite as big, but schematically and fundamentally, they are extremely sound, and they are very well coached, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. Again, it's not the same team 2 years ago. We're not the same team. So hopefully we have a better showing this week than we did 2 years ago.
If you can, and I know sometimes you don't live in the past. I mean, although there are times when you feel like our team needs a reminder that there's always a bigger bear, and certainly Canfield a couple years was, but certainly different circumstances. What was Liberty Center like back then? Of course, I know we all remember, but just to refresh as a comparison to what we look like today, because that will what people, like fans, will start to think about. Here's the Canfield team of 2 years ago that was loaded and had mismatches all over the field. That was a good Liberty Center team that got hit by them that night.
Yeah. We probably didn't have the depth that we do right now. Certainly we had some big studs up front, and we actually, you go back and watch the game, we did a good job stopping their run game. It was their lowest rushing total of the year, but it was on the edges where they were just, they had 2 All-Ohio receivers. They had a tight end who was an All-Ohio defensive lineman, but a 6'3", 215-pound athletic kid who was a matchup problem. So when you look at, they had a 6'3" tight end, they have a 6'2" split end, they had a kid that looks like Julian Edelman in the slot. Yeah. It was really tough for us to match up size-wise and just ability-wise, and they exploited that a little bit. And then you throw the quarterback in there who, we hadn't seen a quarterback of that size where we could get to him, but, you're grabbing him with hands as you're somebody's blocking you, you're rushing him, and he can just break out of that stuff. And you get a linebacker there to make a tackle at 2 yards. Well, he's falling forward for 3 and 4. So it's just those hidden yardages there 2 years ago that they had that is going to be different this year, I think. And defensively, we're probably a little bit different. Schematically, we're the same. So hopefully we match up a little bit better this time around than what we did 2 years ago.
When you turn the film on, Liberty Center looks outstanding up front. I mean, Nick Miller, Todd Spangler, Brad Howe, and the offensive line group have just done remarkable work. We do a little podcast, Jigs and I, and doing matchups, and I'm like, man, Nick Miller's got to be better this week. Nick Miller's got to be better this week. And then that offensive line has just been fantastic all year long. Talk about where you think you have to be better this week. I mean, you've been good all year. I mean, you're 14-0 case. I mean, now we're talking in the margins, but it is those hidden yards. It is that one adjustment that really can win a 1-score, 2-score game. Talk about where you think we've got to be better.
Well, I don't know that we need to be better, but we've got to get to linebackers. And that's kind of, you look at our rushing total 2 years ago when we played them, it was non-existent. We struggled to gain yards because we couldn't get linemen up to level 2. Part of that was their line does a great job of collisioning the linemen and keeping them off the linebackers. And the other part of that was they were so fast and just got downhill that our angles were not good enough. So we've got to do a better job of creating opportunities for our guys to get up on those linebackers. So if we can do some things formationally, we've maybe some blocking adjustments and things like that. But we've got to get to level 2 and level 3 and give our backs a chance to make some yardage there. We can't, when you watch film, it looks like they basically have a 9-man wall across the line of scrimmage, and there's just not a lot of places to run. And I think our play action is going to have to be a big part of being successful. If they're going to be that aggressive, we've got to utilize our play action efficiently. Now, we're not going to throw the ball 30 times a game, but when we do play action, we've got to make it count.
That safety had been walked up so much. I'm just Jakes and I are talking about we're going to throw that boot pass. Boot pass is coming, and you're like, you stayed very patient off tackle, and you obviously the game call has been pretty fantastic all season long, but down the stretch it's even gotten better. Talk a little bit about the things that really worry you about what Canfield does. I know you talked about the quarterback. I know that they do a lot of different things, but what keeps you up at night about Canfield? Is it the culture? Is it the fact that they've been here, they understand it? They're a little bit like you. They know how to be here. They're not playing this game.
Yeah.
They've been hanging around deep in the playoffs for a long time.
It's all of that. When we look at the guys they got playing, we make a scouting report of the defensive players and list 12 guys. 11 of them are seniors. So
there you go.
And they didn't have a lot of sophomores playing 2 years ago, so these guys have developed. They played last year, and now they're seniors getting their opportunity, and then how well coached they are, the culture. They just have a system that their former coach, Dan Yeagley, coached there for 30-plus years and established this culture and this system. And this new coach has been there 2 years now, has just picked up where they left off, and they're doing the exact same stuff, and they're just very, very efficient with what they do. So that's concerning, and they can just plug guys in. And then the athletes they have, and they get the ball to these guys in different ways. They stretch the field horizontally. They'll stretch it vertically. They'll false key you. So when you're reading the line and the line's blocking one way and all of a sudden the back's coming out the other way, the quarterback's doing a little bit of zone read stuff. So all of that stuff is concerning. And when you've got good athletes, you've got good scheme, and you've got really good fundamentals, you're going to have a really good team.
That's a lot to keep you up at night. You're not getting much rest. You look a little bit haggard and gray, and got to shave a little bit. We talk about that. You look like you're down to the end of the season, Coach.
Well, I made a comment to one of the kids. I think I'm burning the candle at both ends here. It's all worth it. So.
How do you manage the holiday? This morning I'm late because I'm on holiday and my clock's all messed up. And we're adults. How does that work? And I know you try to stay true to the schedule and the rhythms of the year, but you get this deep in a high school playoff, and you've been going to school and you teach and your wife teaches and your kids are, it's a real rhythm of life. Well, when you're off, it's the holiday, it's Thanksgiving. I know you love playing on coaching and practicing on Thanksgiving, but how do you keep the kids kind of their biorhythms going?
We just try to, the times we practice might be a little bit different. Obviously, we're the same time today. Tomorrow is going to be different. We're going to go early, but we're going to get the same work accomplished in that whatever time we go.
Yeah.
But I think it's important. We're going to go in the morning and then hopefully get these kids out in time for lunch where they can go be with their families and things like that. That's important. You know, Friday there's no school. I always want to do a walkthrough just to get the kids out of bed at a normal time, get them moving around, and try to make the day as normal as possible without school. And we talk about, you know, when you're home, every hour you need to be up walking around as if class dismissed and you're walking down the hall.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it as normal as possible, but it's not normal. And at this point, our kids know it's not normal, but they know what they've got to do as well. So we got to get our work in, unfortunately, on the holiday, but you know, we play that up as something special. Not everybody gets to do that, but you know, Thanksgiving, you think about turkey and football. So, you know, we play that up as well.
Well, we're getting turkey and we're going to get some football. I mean, we're on overdrive. Lastly, Casey, talk about health. This seemed like a great year for health. You lost some guys that are important, some younger players early in the season. You got Jackson Lonizak back, who made an instant impact on special teams and some depth at the linebacker room. That was great to see. You're managing all that so well. It just feels like, I'm not saying we're perfect, but this is as good as we've been, at least in my observation, in terms of health and guys being close to 100%. Well, last year we were on fumes in that state championship game. We just were. Talk about the differences between where you are to this year and where you are from last year.
Well, we've had guys dinged up throughout the year.
Sure.
Some guys missed games, now they're back, and vice versa. And certainly we've got guys that are hurt and sore right now. We talk about first day of practice, we tell them this is the best you're going to feel all year. From here on, it's kind of downhill as far as how you feel. But, you know, in practice, we've kind of backed off of the physicality, the conditioning. Just we want to keep our bodies as fresh as possible, but still, you know, stay in shape and you know, have our muscle memory be what it is. And guys that are dinged up don't get near as much reps. But guys who are seniors that have played for 14 weeks or for 3 years probably don't need to take every rep in practice. They can get a couple reps, watch guys, coach up the guys that are their backups, and get those mental reps. And again, at this point in the season, some of that fundamental stuff is what it is. And so that's kind of how we approach that. And just got to it's a fine line. We got to balance, make sure we have enough reps so these guys know what they're going to see on Friday, but we got to keep them healthy.
I came in this morning a little bit late, and they said, Casey, has Canfield lost 1 or 2 games? He reminded me that they've not lost any. So you've got 3 straight weeks of undefeated gauntlet football this week. The state semifinal. Congratulations on a tremendous year. Another regional championship. Liberty Center's, I think, 10th historically. Now we're one of the top 20, 25 programs in the state. When you think about regional titles, that's phenomenal. Liberty Center, 14-0. Canfield South Range, 14-0. Parma High School, Friday night, 7 p.m. for a chance to play again in the state final. That's kind of exciting. So happy Thanksgiving to you, Coach, your team, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. We'll see you Friday.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, Tiger sports fans. It's Final Four, the 2024 OHSAA playoffs here from Byers Field in Parma, Ohio. I'm your host, Mark the Captain Bly, and on the call tonight is Spike Whitman, Scott Barrett, and Jigs, Brian Babcock. Guys, Warriors.
I love it.
Outside in the cold.
Yeah,
Yes, all of the above.
we are out here in the elements with the players and the coaches, just the way Spike Whitman and the infamous Kip Kern would want us tonight. Here we are at Byers Field in Parma, Ohio, and welcome to the pregame, the Swanton Welding pregame, and excited to be here, Brian. Excited to be here, Spike. You're playing for a state.
Absolutely.
You're playing for a state championship berth back-to-back years. That has not happened since the 97-98 run that we had, and tonight we get a familiar opponent in the Canfield South Range Raiders, a team that's shared the #1 AP ranking with almighty Ironton, and that was the last team that kind of smoked us up pretty good at Clyde a couple years ago. But these are 2 different teams here in 24. But I would say, in terms of the storyline, Canfield and Coach Dave Yeagley, his last season, won a state title in 22 when they buried Ironton.
Yep.
So these 3 teams have been in the mix the last 3 or 4 years, and it's an exciting opportunity here at Byers Field. A couple quick items. Dave Rock is the head coach of this team. He was the defensive coordinator for Coach Yeakley, who retired after 28 years with a record of 248-75. Casey Moeller, as we know, was the defensive coordinator for Rex Lindgren. And then became the head coach. Rex Hall of Famer, Dave Yeakley Hall of Famer. So a lot of parallels, Spike, but this week, I don't know, I wasn't at practice. I did talk to the coaches a lot. You probably snuck down there a time or two. Talk a little bit about what you saw and what your expectations are for this Liberty Center team tonight.
You know, I think there's not a lot of specifics. Yeah, the Tigers have prepared a few wrinkles, if you will. But it was a week of attitude. It was a week of progressive thinking. The coaches took a lighter stance. The players practiced very diligently. They were very successful. It was probably one of their best weeks of practice all year. The coaches were happy. The players have an air of a quiet confidence. Nothing bold and cocky. Nothing like that at all. But these guys are mentally ready all week long. I mean, it was just a good feel about the whole week, and they were very successful. They ran well. There weren't a lot of, oh, come on, get with the program from the coaches type of thing. I mean, it was good stuff all week.
Spike, talk a little bit about the injuries and the health that we're. It's probably the healthiest we've been in a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
We get Jackson Lonazak back last week. You know, and this Liberty Center team, unlike last year, we were really banged up and broken a little bit late in the season with the Twins, in particular in the backfield. Those guys were banged up. We had Waylon Rentz was banged up in that Coldwater game, and a number of other players on the offensive line were not that healthy. But this year, different story. Talking to Amanda, Spike, this team looks pretty healthy right now.
T. Lay, for example, he has been bothered, but yet he was back at practice. Took it easy a couple days. Clayton Seal took it easy for a day. Different ones, you know, kind of backed it off a little bit here and there, but they're all ready. They are here. They are ready to play tonight. Everybody was in full goal, you know, the last 2 days. So I think we are physically and health-wise, we're in as good a shape probably as we've been, relatively speaking, after 14 weeks. We're as good as we can be, I believe.
Well, Amanda Mathias, maybe the silent MVP of the season, Brian Babcock. We had to endure some injuries early in the season. I know Max Walker has gotten through a couple hand injuries, but with Ian Rosebrock, we didn't miss a whole lot. And we also had Caden Kreinbrink help us in punting, did a nice job when Max wasn't healthy. But talk a little bit about, you've been through a full college season. You've been through a number of full high school seasons. Now we're in extended playoff. You know, the Big Ten season ends this week, and we're going to play. High school kids are out here playing 15 weeks. Talk a little bit about your observations about the importance of availability and health and what this team looks like right now from a health perspective.
Yeah, well, you got to take care of yourself when you have a season that is this long, and every one of these players out there, they got bumps, they got bruises, and they're not 100%. I guarantee you that. But you're right, the staff on getting these kids ready, taking care of their bodies, eating right has been really key. And I think, obviously, getting back to full strength is a big plus for us coming down the stretch here. That was not the case last year. We were limping into the state finals and had, 5, 6, 7 significant injuries that really impacted that game, I think. So here we go. It's coming down to it. We're looking pretty healthy. Like Spike said, T-Lay, we'll see kind of how he looks with the ankle here, but I think we're good to go other than that.
I'm going to bet number 51's going to strap it on play tonight.
Yes, I think so. I know he may be a little bit more hurt than we think. But
he might cut his leg off to play this game.
That's it. You got it.
Spike, talk a little bit about the mentality of a game like this. It's not for all the marbles in terms of but to get to the opportunity, you have two 14-0 teams here tonight. I mean, that is of great significance. This Canfield team is ranked number 1 in the AP.
Right.
This Liberty Center team is ranked number 3. I don't know that it gets any bigger of a game that Liberty Center has played other than the state championship game last year. This one's a big one. Talk about the way this team is looking at, the staff looks at this opportunity against Canfield and what this means to this program right now.
Well, there's not been one word uttered, exchanged, anything about the state championship.
Right.
It's always been this week. We don't. Looking ahead is just not in the vocabulary. Everything is tuned into this week. And the mental health of this team, I think, is as good as it is. We've got a number of players who started the season as question marks, and as the season has progressed, midway through, boy, you saw some improvement. You get into the playoffs, I've seen more improvement. But the mental outlook of these guys is, again, it's that quiet confidence. And they have grown as individuals along with, being a great football player. And they've just, everything about them, their self-confidence, their self-image has gotten a lot better. Guys that at the start of the season, a great one is Giesecke, for example. He was just another guy, and it was a good player. But as the season progressed, he has advanced so much. He plays with kind of an assurance to himself. And the whole team embraces that. That is, I think, one thing that impresses me night after night when I stop in at practice about this whole unit. It's not a me thing. It's not an I thing. There's not a superstar. It is a team.
Casey built on that theme, Brian, and we talked a little bit about it before our podcast this week, and we'll get into South Range here in a moment. But I think there's a lot of storylines to a successful season like this. But I think everybody kind of thought, man, we're losing Colton, and we're losing Trenton, and we're losing Bockelman, and we're losing Navarre, and we're losing all these players, Landon, and we're just losing all these players, all these stars, all Ohio's, Hall of Fame type players. This team came in with kind of a relative, as Spike talks about, more of a team oriented. Not that last year it was a great team last year. It was fabulous. But there were stars in that team. Year before, we had Zane Zeider and we had Box. And this team doesn't necessarily have one or two guys, although you could make the case for Waylon Wrench. You could talk about, there's a couple of guys you can talk about, Garrison Cruz. But at the end of the day, Casey built the whole idea on the team without. And this team has been kind of without those frontline five-star all-Ohio type players, even though we'll have all-Ohio players. But talk about the difference, the shift between the two teams and how both can be very successful.
Yeah, I think you look across this team on every single level, offense, defense, and special teams, there's no holes on this team.
It's a complete football team.
It's a complete football team at every single level, and it's not just the first team. It's the second team. It's the rotational players that come in and continue to hold the excellence that is expected from this coaching staff. And you see it every single week. Now we're to the point where we're rotating Tyler Lay on offense, defense, and Hunter Spangler doesn't have to go both ways. Max Walker doesn't have to go both ways. So you have some of your key players, Stephen Brogan, that you don't have to play both ways all the time. You can save them for maybe their stronger position or spell them, get them a rest to keep them fresh. And I think that's been a really key point here down the stretch, to keep these guys healthy, to keep them fresh, and to keep them in their strong position. But you're right. This is just a very solid football team. There's no holes. They're just solid all the way across at every single level of offense, defense, and special teams.
It's a do-your-job kind of group, Spike.
Let me add something to that.
Please do.
And this is kind of one of the defensive categories. It's tackles. Now, we have Rents with 90. Zeider patrolling the middle on the defensive line was 75. And you got Gary Cruz was 67. But here's one of the big keys. We have a dozen other players that are averaging at least 40 tackles a game. Now, when you spread that out throughout the whole thing, that is the mentality, that is the idea of what this team is about.
Team defense.
And the two leading tacklers for solo tackles are your two cornerbacks, Grady Miller, Camden Colley. They have 28 and 25. They lead the team in solo tackles. But the whole thing is everybody stands out. It is a unit effort.
Well, certainly you talk about solo tackles, Jiggs. You know a little bit about that, being a defensive back at Division II Ohio Dominican. But our corners have been phenomenal, and we got great play last week by our snipers.
Yep.
You got you had a play last week. Garber won our player of the game last week. Just the number of tackles that our defensive backs, our safeties, and Thomas
Moeller, he was flying downhill
big night. And
yes,
then Spike brings it up, but our corners, not only can they cover, but they can really get guys to the ground. They're sure tacklers. I was talking to a couple of guys earlier in the season, and they said those two corners have really changed the way we do business in the back end.
Yep.
We don't need as much safety help when we got lockdown corners like Cam Colley and Grady Miller, and both those guys can really tackle. Talk about how important tackling in the open field is against a team like Canfield, who will throw it horizontally and challenge you out there on the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've seen this team fly around and rally to the football all season long. When you get a tackle out in space and you got 7 or 8 guys showing up to the football, that's what you expect as a defensive coordinator, defensive coach, is a team that rallies to the football. And, yeah, South Range has some players that can get loose on you, and if you give them a little bit of a step, they can absolutely take it to the house. There's 3 or 4 different players that can really get going, and there's going to be a route tree tonight in the pass game that's kind of going to sit down in some zone coverages and be able to turn up and get some space. So tackling the open field with our snipers, corners, safeties, linebackers, it's definitely going to be key tonight.
Well, and Caden Sonnenberg last week had a phenomenal game in special teams and coverage. He's also a part of that sniper defensive back group. All right, let's talk about Canfield South Range tonight a little bit. Canfield South Range comes into this game as the shared number 1 AP poll champion with Ironton, and we all know what lays in waiting for the team that I don't think Ironton gets upset tonight. So this is a big game in terms of the state semifinal. They are 14-0, 3-time Northeast 8 Athletic Conference championships. They are 72-8 in their last 80 games. That's a 90% win percentage. We talk about Casey and this group winning as many games as they have. This Canfield South Range team has done just the same. So when you talk about cultures, both are big-time winners. This is the 4th trip to the Final Four as a Final Four champion. Canfield South Range, it's his 4th trip. They've done a great job in the program to consistently bring a really good football. This Dave Rock, who's been here, this is his 2nd season. He's 26-2. He was the defensive coordinator for Hall of Famer Dave Yeagley, who was 248 and 75. So you look at a little bit like what Rex and Casey have done. It's a very similar story. And that continuity, maybe address the continuity for Canfield and what their program looks like on film.
Yeah, well, on film, they're a tough football team. This is a team that looks similar to Liberty Center on defense, where they fly to the football. They play with a little bit of a nasty streak, and if you look at them on offense, it's similar to us as well, where their line is pretty big and they're nasty, and they got athletes all over the field. And it's on offense. I feel like their play calling is very good. They really use their athletes' strengths. They put their players in good positions, to let them make plays with the quarterback and the wideout and the fullback. So they're certainly, going to be tough to stop tonight. And you're right, this team has been here. They were at the state championship 2 years ago. Those players, a lot of these players that are playing tonight, played in that game. They won a state championship. They've been here. They got beat by Perry last year before. We met Perry ultimately, but this is a battle-tested group, a heavy senior-laden group, and a coaching staff that's been here.
Spike, 20 seniors on this Canfield South Range team. 10 seniors return on offense. 11 seniors will return on defense. 6 starters on offense and 7 starters on defense. 20 seniors. You have been following this senior class, the winningest senior class in the history of Liberty Center football. I think they've lost 4 games in their 4 years. I think that's right. Maybe 5. Not sure. Not many. They're winning at a 90% plus clip. But this Canfield South Range team, what's made, I think, a big impact has been these seniors and the continuity between their coaching staffs, a lot like Rex DeCasey and all these seniors. Talk about what seniors and all that returning experience means to a team, both Liberty and Canfield.
Well, it's a simple matter. When you've got somebody that's been there before, they've done it. This applies in any sport. I don't care what sport, at what level. Senior leadership is always the thing. Professional football players talk about how so-and-so, it was an 8-year veteran, took me under his wing, and he really showed me the ropes. And I think that is here. But while I can't comment directly on Canfield, I just know that Liberty Center's coaching staff has a lot of varied personalities and things that they bring to the table. But they come from all directions. And the players, I'm telling you, I have never seen it to this extent that I've seen it this year. These players have a great rapport of respect, but yet there's a special camaraderie of bonding between the coaches and the team. Now, granted, the coaches are the boss, and Casey is the supreme being. However, these players feel good to go to talk to anybody. I mean, at the workmanship part of it, and then the getting along, just knowing that they've got somebody to talk to, questions about the play, questions about life. I just think this team is as tight a football team as we have ever had. I'm amazed and I'm humbled by just how good these guys make it be.
Certainly Canfield comes in tonight with all these seniors and returning players. We know Liberty Center, we've talked about them all year long. We could talk about Liberty Center for 10 hours, and we've done a lot of that. It's really important for them to understand what they're up against tonight. It's a team that looks a lot like them.
Yeah.
You know, they've got a senior quarterback in Tristan Toy, a 5'11", 180-pound senior. He has had a phenomenal year. We've seen some good quarterbacks here in the playoffs. I don't know that we've seen a better one than Tristan. Tristan was on that team that put it to us 2 years ago, did not play, but certainly has been fantastic the last 2 years. Passing 99 for 157 for 1,584 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions.
Yep.
That's a guy that makes very good decisions. He's also run for 1,082 yards and 23 TDs. If you do the math, this man is responsible for 40 touchdowns in this offense. Talk about Tristan Toy and the way they're going to run this spread offense, because he is fantastic.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy that makes them go, and it all starts with him, and it's going to end with him. Ultimately, they're going to run him in a lot of different ways. They'll run him right up the middle on a power lead, where they'll take a fullback and pull a couple guards right up them in the 0-1 hole, run him right up the middle. They'll run him outside. They'll sprint him out in the pass game, and then he can throw a good ball from the pocket as well. And he reminds me of Lalonde quite a bit from Oak Harbor. A guy that can just run around. He can create. He's slippery. He's quick. He is fast, and he's got some breakaway speed as well, and he can hurt you a lot of different ways.
Spike, talk about how Liberty has defended really good quarterbacks the last 4 weeks. We've had really good quarterbacks from Liberty Benton to Oak Harbor to last week. You know, Milan Edison, you know, you saw that first play of the game. The guy ripped off a 60-yard run, then we made him disappear. Liberty's defense has deleted these top-end quarterbacks, have controlled them. I think Lalonde from Oak Harbor had more success, but as in general, Matt Bryan, Casey Moore, the defensive staff, put the handcuffs on these great quarterbacks. Tonight they're going to have to do the same thing.
Well, you know, it's just a simple matter of this. They preach this every week. They preach it every single night. Stay in your lanes. You do your job. Trust the guy right beside you to do his. There'll be chances when you can help each other, but stay in your lanes, do your job, trust your partner. And it's as simple as that. The coaches, from the guys upstairs that send the signals down like they changed in the defense last week after that first series when they had the ball, and now everything they make it simple, and they teach them how exactly to do their own job and how to trust the guy beside you. And when you can do that, when you have that trust in each other, you can do it. You can do your job, period.
Certainly deleting an athletic quarterback like Liberty has done the last few weeks is a huge part of neutralizing this offense. But South Range also brings a couple more seniors in the backfield. Aiden Dominguez, a 6'3", 225-pound senior, has power and speed and elusiveness, loves to get north and south. He's an explosive runner, yet a patient runner. You know, he does a really good job of reading blocks, and then he can explode to that second, third level. 1,511 yards, 19 touchdowns. So you're talking about a couple of guys that are in charge of about 60 touchdowns between Dominguez and Toy, a senior, and then they throw in a wing running back, fullback, kind of a multi named Dylan Smesko, who's probably one of their top defenders. He's gained 708 yards, 11.8 a carry. That's 3 impressive guys in the running game. And I'll tell you, that's hard to stop when you have, and that's what Liberty Center has done.
Yeah.
Very diverse offensively. This Canfield team, very diverse offensively.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with them is they can hurt you in a lot of different ways. They're going to come out and they're going to want to establish the run. If you've seen some of their stats in the games this year, there have been multiple games where they've rushed for over 400 yards. So it starts in the run game. They want to run the football. They want to establish the run and then kind of work the pass off of that. Not that they're not capable of lining it up and going straight past, because they can, but that's where it starts. And Dominguez is a good running back, and they'll work a wing back on some wing sweeps. They'll get you with some misdirection stuff. They'll false key pulling guards, run a fullback opposite, and look to get number 11 the ball in space. Gavin Nagy. He's very slippery, runs great routes. He's got some shake, and he's got some breakaway speed as well. So they have some weapons on this offense that can go and get a score by themselves.
Talk about the offensive line. I got him at about 6'1", 205 pounds. The thing about this offensive line, we faced some really good ones, but this offensive line, very creative in how they block. A lot of what they call false keying. They'll pick up both guards and sprint them to the sidelines, and the running play goes the opposite direction. They do a really good job of isolating and getting a numbers advantage when they start making those pulls, and then they like to pull and blow everybody up in the 4 and 6 hole where they're running power trap with 5 and 6 blockers each off tackle, a la Liberty Center.
Yeah.
They like to muscle up with those guards. The tackles get to the second level. They get the motion kick out. It looks very, very familiar, but out of a shotgun. This offensive line, very effective for Canfield.
Yeah, I think creative is the best way to say it. They'll do a lot of different things. There's times where they won't pull anybody in the run game, and then the next play they're gonna false key, pull 2 guards one way, run the fullback the other. Like I said, they'll do a double wing to each side, bring a wing back up the middle, lead up with the fullback, pull a guard. So they do a lot of different false keying, which throws you off as a defender where you're reading guard, and all of a sudden ball doesn't follow guard. That can be tricky as a linebacker and slow you down a little bit. So it's going to be important for Liberty Center tonight and stay in your keys, stay in your lanes, and do your job, as Spike talked about earlier.
I was watching Aiden Dominguez a couple times, and they pull those guards. Aiden Dominguez going opposite to the 3 or 5 hole, and there's no one there.
Seal it.
Two blocks, and the tight end gets down on a safety, and he's off to the races. So, again, Eric Weimer, Brian Hefflinger have had big weeks saying, guys.
You know that play has been repped and repped and repped.
Because that false key
is
such a big deal in the run game, and they can be explosive in the run game. Spike, I wanted you to address the way Liberty Center's defense has played this year. It is the top defensive scoring group in Division 5 this season. They just don't allow a lot of points. And I think in the entire state, they're the number 2 team behind, I think, Marion Local. This defense has been locked down fantastic at all 3 levels all season long.
Well, we'll throw out all the games, some of the games, the shutout games. But Liberty Center this year against 7-win teams, they are averaging 31 points and only giving up 8.
Whoa.
8 points against 7-win teams. Against 9-win teams or better, Liberty Center's only gave up 10 points a game. And when you look at Patrick Henry, one of those was a 19-yard field after a fumble. And then for Oak Harbor, they had the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So a touchdown's still a touchdown, but when you charge it right to the defense, Liberty Center's actually only given up, even against the very top teams, only about 6 points a game.
Brian, we talk a lot about Canfield's offense because it's pretty cool. I mean, the stuff you see, the players you see, the way the offensive line plays, just really well coached. I like their defense.
Yeah.
They're rugged. They're going to throw 3 to 5 guys down in the line of scrimmage. My guess is they're going to add a couple guys to the box, but they're a 3-4 team. They'll play it, even. They'll play it odd, and what even means is 4 guys down, hands down. 3 guys down, hands down is an odd look. They're probably going to cover the center because we're really good at trap and dive game. I think this is where Liberty Center, though, has a bit of an advantage.
Yep.
But I think Dylan Smesko, a 5'10", 185-pound senior at linebacker, and then the co-defensive player of the year in their district, the Northeast Inland, Luke Starkey, 6'1", 225, is their kind of run stopper.
Yeah,
he is
he
a
is.
great player.
Yeah, he is.
So they're solid up front, but they're even better in that second level. And we've seen that good linebacker play all year from Liberty. But this Canfield team, they bring two outstanding run stoppers, tacklers at the linebacker position.
Yeah, they've been pretty dominant in the run game really all year. And if you look at the game last week was pretty interesting against Poland Seminary, which was a very well played game. They neutralized that run for the most part, but got them a couple times on a quarterback run where they would lead up, kind of outnumber them, and the quarterback makes a cut back, and he's gone. What you're going to see tonight is a defense that flies around. They're going to have safeties that are going to try to make tackles at the line of scrimmage, coming downhill. And you're right, these linebackers are very active, very busy.
Good tacklers.
And they're good tacklers, and I think you're going to see them blitzing Liberty Center a lot tonight.
You know, a little bit like what Patrick Henry did to us. Poland Seminary is in their league, and they played two wars with Poland this year. It was 38-30. They got Poland in game one, but Poland did have a lead in that game. And last week, Poland led 16-7 late in the fourth quarter, and Canfield, no seniors, came back to get a huge win at 17-16. So this team has been in some gritty, tough games. Liberty Center had Oak Harbor. They had Patrick Henry. They were really challenged. So both teams, although top-end elite in Division 5, have seen their challenges, and you got to tip your cap to both clubs to be able to hang in there with enough grit to win those games. We'll talk through the alma mater. I think it's important. Defensively, they're giving up 111 yards on the ground, per game, which I think is a key statistic, Brian, because that's what Liberty Center does. We love to run the football. Anybody that's watched us know, we can throw it when we have to, but we want to run the football. 111 yards that's giving up some yardage in the run game. They give up 106 in the passing game. So I don't think they're an elite defense. I think they're a bend don't break, very competitive defense, but they've given up points all year long, and Liberty Center, I feel, is advantaged on the offensive line.
One thing I want to add to that point is they are against 7-win teams and 9-win teams. It's about the same for South Range. They give up about 20 points a game. They give up 20 points a game. So when you stop and break that down, I mean, they may fly around to the football. They may do a lot of blitzing. But a lot of times that's to cover up deficiencies.
Well, I definitely think Spike, the line of scrimmage, all things being equal, Liberty Center is advantaged at the line of scrimmage tonight on both sides. But I would just say, as you have talked about, I think when you look at those numbers, Liberty Center, and what do they have to do tonight when you look at those defensive statistics, what does Liberty Center have to do tonight to get this thing done?
I think you saw a little preview last week, really the last 2 weeks. Liberty Center, I believe with 5 passes 2 weeks ago and 4 last week. Bringing some extra beef in at the tight end position at times with Hunter Spangler, Xander Zeider playing a lot more tight end. We want to run the football, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. I think we're going to take a break here.
A little break for the national anthem here. Spike Whitman, Liberty Center's defense, I think it's important to note. We've talked a lot about Canfield the last few minutes. As we get close to kickoff, Liberty Center's defense has been absolutely top end. Matt Bryant and his group have been fantastic all season long. Last week gave up 154 total yards to Milan Edison, but they got 80 on the first drive, so really 70 yards and out. Liberty's defense shut Milan Edison down. That's a good Milan Edison football team. But tonight's defense, Liberty, it gives up about 169 yards per game, 75 yards rushing. They have been virtually dominant in both the pass game and against their run. Liberty Center's defense has been fantastic all year.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the mentality. A defense isn't just execution. It is a mentality, and it goes beyond anything that a normal person has to deal with in their life. You deal with paying bills and getting along with mama or papa, and dealing with the kids and with your spirituality and your normalcy. But these guys come out here, and this is over, above, and beyond the normal. This is what a soldier does. This is what a warrior does. And this is what the Liberty Center Tigers do. It's a way of life. It's a thing that you accept. This is what I'm going to do. I learned to do it. I love it because it's a great game.
Well, we talk a lot about Liberty's offense, Brian, but I think this is a defensive team.
Yeah.
I think Liberty Center is an exceptional offensive team. I think Casey Moeller and Ryan Miller have been phenomenal calling games this year, and I think they've done a wonderful job in game plan, game design, game call. But this defense has been lights out.
Yeah,
We've been lights out all three levels, and tell me where the weakness is at, because I can't find it.
Yeah, there isn't one, and they just fly around. They are all over the place, swarming like a swarm of bees around the football. They're constantly there, finding the football, rallying, and getting around. And you're right, it starts the defensive line. They have really been stepping up these last couple of weeks, been dominant. And we know how our linebackers fly around. And obviously our secondary, this secondary has been very solid. Corners, two of the better corners play that we've seen in a long time around here, and then our safeties and snipers.
Well, I'm certainly very excited to see tonight how Waylon Rentz in that backfield, Thomas Moeller, and Garrison Cruz, Spike, they have been a tremendous trio running the football behind a phenomenal offensive line. Maybe talk a little about what you expect to see from those three.
Well, I expect to see the same thing we've seen all year. We're going to go after them. We're going to go right at them. There are some wrinkles, though, and that's what I like that. But you always have wrinkles. But this is a machine. This is run it again, run it again, run it again. We don't quit running it till we perfect it. It's a mentality. This whole thing is just something that a thing of beauty to observe, is a joy forever, and that's what Liberty Center is all about. We are going to see a possibility. They have a wrinkle of Rent split out wide to one side, Gary split wide out to the other, and they go down 2 quick steps, come back. They want to isolate on the smaller cornerback perhaps and see what they can muscle. But it's just a wrinkle. They've got a lot of other little dodges and deeks to the running game that we haven't seen yet.
Well, certainly I'm expecting tonight Liberty Center's offensive line to be able to move the defensive line of Canfield tonight, and I think Waylon Rentz is perfect for a game like tonight. You've got about a 20-mile-an-hour wind. I've got to believe this wind chill gets it to single digits, maybe 10 degrees. It's cold and windy.
Let's talk about that offense again for a minute. Waylon Rentz, Gary Moeller, they were all averaging, 5, 6, 7 carries a game for a big portion of the year. The carries have gone up. The relentlessness has gone up. Everybody's seeing more action, and that machine is grooving into precision.
Well, guys, we got the computers up here. It's 27 degrees at game time with a 14-degree wind chill.
Well, bring it! Listen, I was looking for you up there. I know you're up there eating pizza and having cocoa. I know you're at your shorts on and your wife beater, so I know you're awfully toasty. We're out here just freezing our tails off, but it's going to be a good one. Liberty Center won the toss and deferred, and, of course, I love that, Brian. It's always a good strategy to defer and kick the ball off.
Yeah, I think one other thing to be aware of tonight is ball security. You get cold hands, you get cold body. It's tough to hold on to the football at once. I think turnovers could be a real key in this football game. It's going to be tough to pass the ball with this wind and cold tonight, but handling the football is going to be a key.
All right. Liberty Center averaging, they've got 3,600 yards this season on the ground amongst the 4 ball carriers. They've got 3,300 yards. So that's a close comparison. But boy, what a great night for Liberty Center Tiger football.
Here we go.
Kick Kern style. Yes, boy. Feel good. You gotta love it. Walker will kick off, averaging 4 yards deep in the end zone. Here's the first one. Bounce around, picked up there at the 3-yard line, returned up the right hash, a little bit of a seam.
Oh, yeah.
But he'll be closed down, shut down at the 24-yard line.
Liberty Center coverage team's doing it again. It was Ian Rosebrook kicking off tonight.
Oh, that was Ian.
That was Ian. He was kicking with the wind. Wind moving left to right about 15 to 20 mile an hour. Ian Rosebrook can get some elevation, and I think that was a really good choice tonight. I don't know what's wrong with Matt Walker, but maybe it was a strategic opportunity for Ian.
All right, on this beautiful night for football, the Raiders come out, double wide out to the wide side. They look to the bench. You'll see teams use this to kind of a delay. They come to the line of scrimmage. Perhaps they read how we're lined up. But play clock. All right, now started. Motion this way from the right hash. Long count. Flip out there and caught, stuck right back there. It'll be a loss of 3 yards on the play.
Blake Garber again last week, our player of the week, just making plays. Great read and tackle for loss, Brian.
Man, that's beautiful start there. Blake playing in space, breaking down, making that tackle. That is great to show that up early. If they go away from that, it's a big part of their game. Get their receivers in space and let them make a move. That's a big play.
Right, Spike, tough to throw the ball down the field against this wind. So you saw a horizontal pass right there.
Horizontal pass, caught it behind the line and got stopped right there. Single setback, out of the gun, 2 wide outs to the far side. They throw it underneath. That's going to be low and incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down behind the chains of 13 yards.
Good pressure there by Hunter Spangler. And another number tonight looks like number 45.
He's
Last week, 42.
Mystery man.
Well, he should be wearing 007. He's out there on a spy mission. Hard to miss. 6'4", 270. Good job by Hunter.
Kind of surprised with this start here. 2 passes early. Kind of surprised with this win.
All right, still 11 minutes to go in the first quarter if you've just joined us. 3rd down and 13 for the South Range Raiders. Back to throw. Throws a little dump screen over there. Caught. Pick up a 5, but way short of the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down at the 20, their own 26-yard line.
That first play that was made, tackle for loss, set the tone for that entire drive.
Yeah.
Now Canfield is set to punt against a vicious wind.
Yep.
Cold and windy, and we saw the last 2 weeks what that wind can do to a punt. Great start by Liberty Center in their defense.
All right, 3 protectors, back to punt. A line drive, that'll hit at the 50. Ticked up there at the 45-yard line, kicks outside, breaks through 1.
Face mask.
Brought down by a face mask. I don't know if we got the call or not. It looked like it.
Well, this is just the way Casey wants to start inside
Beautiful.
Canfield's 50. You know, again, we're a defensive football team, although we are great on offense, Spike Whitman, but that defense put Canfield at a disadvantage right away, and now Liberty gets to reap the rewards.
Right. When you can't pick up that 1st down or 2 to feel good about yourself, now they're playing back on their heels, perhaps.
Let's watch this offensive line, Brian. Couple snaps, see if we get downhill on them.
Here's
Beautiful
the
field
situation.
position.
1st down for Liberty Center at the South Range 46. The Tigers line up with a wing. They move, shift to the right. Play action. Throws it deep downfield. It's caught at the 20, at the 10, and finally tackled down around the 5-yard line. Play action, and they sent the receiver on a fly route. Wow.
Blake Garber gets behind the safety, and Brian, I looked right away. 4 guys down. They walk 3 guys up. And Liberty Center hits him with a big early play-action pass.
What a call. We have not gone down the field in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And they were not expecting it, to say the least. What a throw, what a catch.
And have the win. Very, very good call by Casey Moeller.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line. You've got Colley spread out wide to the far side with Gary Cruz out there with a double wing set. Miller by himself. Now motion back. They're going to run a little power inside. Runs down to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown on the 2nd offensive play. Boom, boom.
So how about scripting that start? Casey Moeller defers, kicks off. Canfield has to throw the ball against the wind. They punt it. Liberty gets the ball inside the 50, and we go vertical on a play action, little boot pass. We've been waiting for that all year long, and then Waylon Rentz, once he smells the goal line, you're not going to get that guy down.
What a start.
Big time start.
Fitzenreiter, the snapper, the holder, Kreinbrink, the kicker, Rosebrook, up and good again. 77 out of 78 on the season. What a team.
Spike, I got to tell you, the fact that you know those numbers like the back of your hand, I mean, I know you love Ian Rosenbrock, but, man, you've been nailing that number for years.
Feels good donut, man.
Tell you what, I'm excited to see Liberty Center. I mean, that is just a Casey Mueller corporate football type of deal, business meeting, well planned and executed. Liberty Center, great start, 7-0 here. I love it.
Yeah, and you're right, Spike. You mentioned earlier, 3-0 for South Range. They couldn't really get going on offense. They don't know what's going to work yet. So, not a lot of confidence offensively yet here for South Range. You get another 3-and-out, good field position. This game could get interesting here.
Well, it makes you wonder. They came right out and threw the ball twice against our defense. I mean, obviously they have to respect the fact that we're pretty good against the run. All right, so the Tigers now lead it with only 2 minutes gone. We're at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter, and Liberty Center leads South Range 7-0.
South Range can be dangerous in the return game, Spike. They've got 3 returners. The first time I've seen that all year.
Yeah,
they
3.
They want to return this football.
Kick. High floater. That's going to come down bobbled. Picked up at the 10. Tries to kick outside. And a great solo tackle. A big saver there by Garber. That was huge because it kind of had everybody sucked inside. And Garber was the last man for about 20 yards that could have made that tackle.
Well, against Oak Harbor, Liberty did get out of their lanes and gave up a touchdown. But Blake Garber, man, he's feeling it. He put the hammer down on that tackle, got it right to the ground.
And you're right, Spike. If he didn't make that tackle, he could have been off to the races. Big time tackle there.
All right, 1st and 10 for South Range on their own 20. All right, pickup of about 5 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 5 for South Range.
Zayden Dominguez, their senior kind of primary halfback, Brian, and he turns what looked like a 1-yard gain to a 5-yard gain. He's got some power.
He's a big kid.
He's a big kid. He can run explosively.
All right, 2 wide outs to the far side, the wide side. They're going to run power sweep.
Look at him
that
stretch
way.
that out, Gary.
Liberty Center there, and they throw him for a 3-yard loss.
That great play by Gary Cruz. He has been outstanding at that outside linebacker position. But again, look at those corners. Again, Blake Garber again making plays. Tackle for loss, Spike, and here we go. 3rd and +5 for Canefield.
3rd and 7 now. They lost 2 on the play. 3rd and 7 from their own 23-yard line. 8:55 here in the first quarter remaining. They line up out of the gun. Motion to the wide side. He's going to run a sweep or a draw, and that might have been good for a yard or 2.
We got a fumble here.
Wait a minute. Now they're saying fumble.
Tell you what, he was hit pretty hard. Tristan Troy.
Boy, Liberty Center stayed home that time on the draw right up the middle.
I'm telling you, inside run has been impossible all year long. And Tristan Toy, he did end up driving the pile a couple yards, but another big stop. Liberty Center defensively, they are on fire here to start this game.
That was a gain of 4, but it makes it 4th down and 3 from the 37. Here's the snap. A line drive punt. That's going to be taken there, picked up at the 43-yard line, breaks one tackle, cuts to the outside.
Get a block, baby!
That's heading down the sideline. You're not going to get this guy.
Adios,
He's going to
amigos.
go all the way to the house. It's another Liberty Center Tiger touchdown, and there's not even 4 minutes gone in the game. Collie explosion.
I got to see that replay. There was a tremendous block on that. But, man, oh, man, you get Cam Colley in the open. He kind of bobbled it, which stunned the defense a bit. See if you could pick up the number on that block. There was one key block in that sequence.
And he didn't blow him up either to get
it. Yeah, great job. Who was that? Boy, Cam got
18? Might have been Lonazak.
Maybe Jackson Lonazak, but Cam Colley. Oh, my goodness. Big-time response.
Well, 13-0, the snap. That's good. The hold is good. The kick is up. It's good again. in Liberty Center. There's still 8:17 on the first quarter clock, and we're looking at 14-0.
This game is far from over, Brian, but you hinted that this game, Liberty Center, if they got a good start, a little bit like Milan Edison, it could look the same. I think Canfield's got plenty of offense to get right back at us, but what a start for Liberty Center. Casey defers.
Yeah.
They shut him down twice on defense. Now we get a special teams explosive play.
That block
Hey,
was
now, wait a
by.
minute. I want to lodge a complaint. We run the football. We don't throw play action for 45 yards
Guys,
on the first play.
That block was made by number 18.
Yeah, Jackson Lonizak, who's been out for a month.
Lonizak.
But when he popped in last week, made an instant impact.
And
Special teams tackle, 2 tackles on defense.
You know, it was a great job not to blow that kid up because he
Yep.
probably would have got a
Got in the
flag.
way.
He just got in the way. Great job, great decision.
Hey,
there
how
by
about get Jackson Lonizak back late in the season to give us
What
that
a-
kind of special teams play?
What an athlete. That kid will only get better. You watch.
Wow.
This guy is a dynamo.
I think that South Range sideline is in shock right now of this fast start. Now, this team has been down. They've been down to Poland twice this year, so this is nothing new for them, but what a start here at Liberty Center.
All right.
Yep.
Now the ball blown off the tee, so Rosebrook will reset.
I don't know exactly why Ian's kicking, but I'm going to guess that they wanted some height on this ball and to work against those
Yeah, because
cold hands.
Max is still on.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
the
they
kickoff
want
here.
some height here to put Canfield in a bind having to receive a ball that's higher.
Rosebrook, low liner, that's going to bounce, and it'll go into the end zone, hit around the 15-yard line, and had too much skip power. Wow. All right, now, you're South Range. There's only 3.5 minutes gone, and you've got to figure out a way to regroup and refocus here.
Well, South Range needs an answer or a drive, or this game's going to start getting out of their reach. But this is early in this ball game. South Range's answer will be very important to watch here, Brian.
I think they got to get Tristan Toy out of the pocket, try to get him
On the
loose
edges.
and create some.
All right, they line up 2 wideouts to the Tiger side of the field on this side, a single setback. Little quick slant right over the middle, and that's going to be good for 11 yards up to the 30, and that'll be a 1st and 10.
You know, Liberty getting their hands up, almost got a tip there, but first down, good throw by Tristan Toy, quick slant. Good looking throw against the wind.
Guys, we're getting quite a few people talking about the wind. Guys, we're in a 29-mile-an-hour wind out there. We're trying to find the sweet spot for the microphones. We're working on it. Welcome to being outside.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, their own 30 for South Range. Man in motion, they give a power sweep coming this way. Has to slow down. The Tigers group and gang tackle. Gain of maybe 2 on the play, and that's it. They took him out of his lane. It took him out of his running lane. He had to switch gears.
I'll say Aiden Dominguez, though, did turn a negative play into a positive 2. The thing I like about Aiden Dominguez is a very patient runner, and he can turn a big play into patience.
All right, single setback. Wing left, double wing right. Now give off that left
there
side,
it
breaks
is.
through and open. Got the 50, and it's going to be 1 man left, slows him down, and the Tigers finally catch up all the way down inside the 30-yard line of the Tigers. It'll be a gain of about 40 yards.
Well, that's what I kind of thought could happen. Very patient, read his blocks very well, then exploded. He's got a couple gears, Brian. He showed us a gear right there.
Going quick here.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the 28. Little power stuff, has to change direction. Liberty Center ties him up right away.
Xander
And
Zyder there.
No gain on the play at all.
Nice play by Xander Zyder. Good job by Gary and Whalen. Liberty Center swarmed the ball that time. Going to insert big now.
That Dominguez play, the play before, it didn't look like the guards pulled there. I don't know if that was
stayed
that
home.
misdirection where they came back around, but they liked that play.
All right.
It looked like we might have been out of place there. It looked like we might have been missing a linebacker.
6.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. South Range now after the 40-yard run down to the Tiger 29-yard line. 2nd and 11. Motion right. Quarterback's going to keep it. Cuts to the right now. Sucks it back up inside. Tucks it in. inside the 25 to the 24. It'll be a gain of 4 on the play.
Tristan Toy, really good off tackle now. Those inside, those zero trap A-gap runs, those 0-1 runs, not going to be there for him. But off tackle, we're seeing some opportunity. Both good plays they've run have been off tackle, Brian.
All right, 3rd down and 5.
They are in 4-down territory,
Yep,
Spike
out
Whitman.
of the gun with wide outs to both sides.
Yeah, baby.
And somebody moved on the offensive line. Wow, what an impact from 3rd and 5. Now we're going to be looking at
Huge.
3rd and 10.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
Toy was making a pre-snap read, and the right tackle jumps off sides or starts, false starts, and now puts them at 3rd and 11. That's a big move for Canfield and Liberty's defense.
Yeah, they do. They have a good kicker, but I don't think you're
Not-
going to
not
see
tonight.
anything tonight within, probably 20 yards maybe, but they're not
Right.
going to see anything outside
Right now,
of
the wind is in Canfield's face, so
Correct.
that certainly changes things. But Liberty Center is going to have to play 2 quarters, 2 of the next 3 quarters with the wind in their face. So it's important here that Liberty Center continues to stay in their lanes, trust your sidekick beside you.
Now, Luke Starkey, I think, jumped, false start for Canfield.
That's huge penalty.
I do think they're going to be in 4-down territory. I think they feel like they've got an answer in this drive right here.
All right, after the timeout for the Raiders, 3rd down and let me see. 3rd down and 5. Quarterback
Same
keeps
play.
it, cuts it up, dives forward down to the close to the 20-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, and let's see where they spot it. Yeah, down at the 21. It'll be 4th down and about 2 to go.
Tristan Toy is going to run the football a bunch tonight. 40 touchdowns in their offense, Brian. They're very reliant on the quarterback tonight.
They kind of let him pick a hole on that, where he just kind of creates and picks a hole. Here we go.
All right, quarterback out of the gun, single setback, motion to the right. Now he'll reset. He'll flip right on a sweep. He's got 1st down yardage and piles his way in behind a good set of blocks. This is a nice offense here. Quarterback keeps the ball kind of almost like the old single wing.
That's Tristan Toy now just running to the boundary and kind of outran the defensive scheme. There was no one to stop him. No one held the outside and got a 1st down. That showed some explosiveness there, Brian. He can run a little bit.
He's fast. He's fast. And they will overload. They'll get an extra wing on that side and then just power him up on that.
All right, 5 minutes left in the first. 1st and 10 from the 14. And powering forward down there inside the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 5 for South Range.
Again, Aiden Dominguez, I just like his patience. He's powerful. He's got that gear, but he does not go too fast. He wants to see that entire 1st and 2nd level develop. He's a very good running back.
Yeah, he is. No panic here by South Range. Been a nice drive so far.
All right, 2 wide outs to the wide side. The ball on the right hash. Single setback with the quarterback out of the gun. He'll keep it off the left side, down inside the 5-yard line, and that should be enough for a 1st and goal for the Raiders.
And quarterback Tristan Toy showing some toughness there.
Yeah.
Running 0-1 and driving those shoulders. He's got no fear of contact. Tough runner, a fast runner, Tristan Toy.
Well,
Yeah,
and the offensive line's getting a great push right now.
They are.
4 minutes remaining here in the first period. 14-0 Liberty Center, but South Range knocking on the door. Out of the gun. Running back shifts to the left. They'll give to that running back on a power off that right side. He goes nowhere. Maybe a loss of a yard on the play.
Good job by Liberty's interior. Inside run will be rugged tonight, but they're going to stay patient. You said it, Brian, earlier. A ton of seniors, a lot of poise, and a lot of discipline. They're not going to panic here.
No, and it's been a really good big drive. Running a lot of clock here. If they can punch us in, get a stop.
Okay,
Shorten
second
this game
goal
up.
at the 5-yard line. 3:19 left in the first. Out of the gun, motion this way. They'll hand off. No, quarterback keeps it. He'll power forward, but only a yard on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 4.
You got to believe Coach Dave Rock is thinking 4-down territory this deep in the Liberty Center side of the field. And like you said, they're running clock, and they want to get this ball in the end zone and then flip this wind a little bit and make Liberty run it.
All right, 3rd and goal from the 4.
Quarterback split out
Again,
here.
out of the gun, a wide out to either side.
Give it to
Motion
him.
this way. Quarterback hands to the motion man. Down to the 3, down to the 2. And he's going to be stopped short of the goal line. 4th and goal and around the 1.
Yeah, that was a nice play design there. They split Toy out on the left, Dominguez at the quarterback. And when you see him in motion, you know they're giving. He's their most explosive player. Great job there by Liberty Center defense to get the stop. And here we go, 4th and goal.
Spike Whitman, they love to run the quarterback. They're going to run him all night long.
I believe that's
I'm
looking for the quarterback.
He's taking some hits
here.
tonight already, but man, keeps
They're
getting
going to run him
up.
outside.
Tough
They're going
kid.
to run him inside. This quarterback's a big part of their offense.
All right, 4th and goal at the 1. Clock winding down. 2 minutes left in the first. Right under center. They're going to pitch sweep to the other way, looking for the goal line into the end zone. It is a South Range Raider touchdown. They simply ran a huge power play into the end zone.
Well, South Range looked outstanding in the run game right there.
Yeah,
a lot of diversity in the offense, outside, inside, quarterback, fullback. I'll tell you what, that was an impressive drive all the way down the field. One explosive, but excellent job by South Range.
I think they passed one time on that drive, and it was a other than, you're right, the big explosive play, just a plotting all the way down the field. We have not really seen that happen in Liberty Center.
Well,
they got Oak Harbor a couple times, on those touchdowns, but that was a great drive.
They got to the perimeter on that quick toss pretty easily.
Kick up, and it is good. 14-7 now. 1:54 on the first quarter clock, and we've already seen 3 touchdowns to start this game.
Well, Liberty's defense pretty stout inside those outside linebackers, but Canfield found some sweet spots on the perimeter. Toy got there, and certainly Dominguez got there, and that toss sweep, there was nobody home for Liberty. Easy touchdown.
A few times there, so it'll be interesting to see what Liberty Center defense does to adjust to that outside run, because they hit a few of them there, and we really looked like we were outnumbered.
Guys, I got a couple quick scores. Coldwater 7, Bluffton 0, Ironton 21, West Liberty Salem 0 in the first quarter, and Marion Local 14, Columbus Grove 0 going into the first, or ending the first quarter.
Well, I didn't think it's a surprise for anybody in Division 5 to see Ironton eating big on Thanksgiving Day weekend.
They're going to be they're a good football team.
And that's an understatement.
Well, now, Liberty Center's coaching staff, the players have seen it, the staff is dissecting it. We'll see how Liberty comes out again the next time we're on D. Right now, we've got 2 minutes with the wind. We'll see what the Tigers can come up with.
Yeah, he's kicking against the wind here, Brian, and I think that advantages Liberty Center.
Yep.
This ball will hang up, and Liberty's got a chance to get to this coverage team pretty quickly. If you break something quick, you got another big play.
Boy, 55 does everything for them.
Yeah, he's a good player.
All-purpose player, a guard, a linebacker. Short kickoff, hits it to 20, now picked up at the 15-yard line, looks for a seam, breaks through there, spins past one, it's Colley, and battles his way up to the 30-yard line. Good, effective return with a lot of jinx and jukes.
Liberty Center has the wind. You saw in the first drive, they go up top on a bit of a boot pass or play action. See if Liberty Center can establish the line of scrimmage. You're going to need it in the second quarter, playing against that wind.
All right. Liberty Center has the ball on the right hash, on the hash closest to the Tiger sideline and the home stands of Liberty Center. They break the huddle and come out. Miller under center. 3 backs in the backfield, wide out to the far side. They're going to run power sweep to Gary. Gary will pound forward, pick up maybe a yard on the play. That time Canfield went to the ball well, held them in.
Really good job by their corner. Number 1 came up and forced them back inside, and their linebacker, number 55, knifed in for a play. So, they're doing a good job schematically. We're a disciplined team on defense.
All right, now Liberty Center shows a wide out to either side. Single setback with Miller under center. Miller gives on a quick hitter right up the middle, and that might be a couple of yards on the play. Liberty Center looking at a 3rd and 7 from their own 33.
And we talked about Luke Starkey and Dylan Smesko in the pregame when they're both showing up here inside run. Both linebackers filling and making good tackles.
Yeah, I think if you watch them on film, the hardest thing to do against them is run inside. They are very good inside with the head up on the center, with the defensive lineman, and their linebackers really fill inside very well.
They're a 3-4 team tonight. They're playing 5 guys down, really committing 8.5 guys in the box.
Yeah, they load that, stack it up. All right, Miller out of the gun. White out to either side. Now motion. Gary over to the right, to the far hash. And now the play blown dead.
Timeout, Liberty.
Oh, geez, delay game.
Oh, man. Don't like that.
No, penalty on the Tigers. 5-yard fashion, walks them back. And now Liberty Center looking at 3rd and 12 with 21 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Casey hates being off schedule. 3rd and 7 manageable. 3rd and 12 not so much. And looked like we might be in a pass situation in that last down and set it down. So I think 3rd and 12 we'll have to throw the ball here a little bit.
All right, so Liberty Center breaks the huddle. 3 wideouts to the right side. Miller out of the gun, now rolls this way, has time, throws it underneath, grabbed by Garber, but the pass was high. Garber had to go up, grab it, but went to the turf, and it'll bring up 4th down from Liberty's 28-yard line.
Yeah, good answer by South Range on defense right there, and I think he had Cam Colley up the sideline, and then he threw a ball that was difficult to catch to Garber, and Liberty will be in a punt situation here.
I think Casey tried to get a timeout there to be able to punt this with the wind. We're going to be punting against the wind now.
Well, maybe we got the timeout
Okay, so they're going to let him punt with the wind. It's a good move there by Casey.
Good move. Casey got the timeout there, Spike,
right,
so he could punt it with the wind.
Before the quarter ran out, so we will gain something there. The clock ran out, but I think the officials, now they're putting 5 seconds back on the clock here in this first quarter.
Liberty jumps out 14-0. Canfield does a great job on offense and then shuts us down up front on that drive. So Canfield, too many seniors. They've been around too long. They know how to play this
I think we're
going to
have a football game tonight. That drive from South Range was pretty impressive, and we're going to make some adjustments, I'm sure, but this offense is pretty explosive. Now they come for a lot of these. Watch the block. You see how we went. This is different. We got 2 splared to either side here.
All right, good snap. They get it off. A floater. That's going to hit at the 40, take a good bounce, and he'll have to dive on the football at the 30-yard line. Good coverage for Liberty Center. A kick of 41 yards with the bounce, and South Range will have it at their own 30-yard line to start the second quarter.
See what adjustment Liberty makes here on defense after they kind of had some success on the outsides there on that last drive, Spike.
Now, this is going to be a big answer for Liberty's defense because we believe South Range found a couple holes, but Liberty and Matt Bryan typically finds an answer pretty quickly anytime they see a team find a vulnerability. This defensive staff's been very good all year, but now Liberty has the wind to fight with. So, again, Canfield, South Range back in business with the football, and they're going to have the wind here in the second quarter.
Well, a sustained drive is what it is, in a normal football game. But this is Final Four. This is a big deal here. But we've got a big deal coaching staff, and I'm sure that they've got this under control. They've got to make a few small changes, but I think the Tigers will be all right.
Jigs, you talk about South Range likes to block punts. Mm-hmm. They came free.
Yeah, they did.
They had numbers, and it was not that comfortable on that punt right there. So it's something to watch as we get on with it.
All right. Give.
Reverse.
Now the reverse pitch. That ball loose on the deck and recovered, but that was a loss of 5 yards. they had a reverse inside set up to run, but it was bobbled right on the quarterback snap. He tried to pitch it, and that was trouble from the start.
I'm not sure I like
What are they doing? They calling that incomplete pass?
Are they really?
Wasn't that a pitch?
That looked like a pitch to me.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a pitch. I don't get that at all.
I do not like non-quarterbacks pitching the ball in reverses.
Agreed. Stephen Brogan blew that play up. It was a nice job by Stephen.
Well, what would have been a loss of 5 now is first or second and 10
How do you,
from their own 30-yard line.
Not sure.
Out of the gun. Handoff heading around the left side. Breaks one, still on his feet. Breaks another tackle, pounds forward for about 7 yards, 8 yards on the play.
Hey, Dominguez again, patient running, powerful running through tackles for a nice big gain there on second down.
These guards are really getting downfield. I saw Whalen get blocked there. I've not seen him get blocked all year. Pretty impressive, this offensive line, South Range.
Very active.
Right. South Range at their own 39, 3rd down and 1. 2 wideouts here. Quarterback hands off that left side, a little darter and a dipper, and he zips and pips his way forward for 10 more yards, all the way up to the midfield stripe at the 50.
Off tackle, banging away at us, man. Dominguez again. You get him out there on the perimeter, Brian. He's running through arm tackles.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing a really good job getting in that 4 or 5 hole.
All right, double wide out to either side, single setback. Quarterback hands off, straight up the middle. He'll go nowhere. No gain on the play. Stopped right back at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Stephen Brogan was in the mix there, but you know they got to keep you honest, run the ball inside. But they have had big-time success early, Brian, off tackle.
Big holes in the outside. Not real sure exactly the motion or if they're pulling guards or what's happening there.
Definitely pulling guards.
Yeah.
All right, officially 2nd down and 9 from the Tiger 49. Gives off that left side running room there, breaks a tackle at the 30. A foot race down the sideline, and it is a South Range touchdown, 49 yards out.
Same play, off tackle, going in front of the quarterback, getting to the 4 and 5 hole, that tackle tight end or just outside the tight end, and we got no answers there.
Yeah.
Nobody tackling, nobody up there in their disciplined lanes. They're not getting up the field to turn them back inside.
Yeah, it looks like they're overloading it. They got the wing there, pulling both guards. They're just outnumbering us, and we don't have an answer at the moment.
Big plays off tackle, and certainly they're getting a lot of numbers
All
in
right,
the 4 and 5 hole.
That makes the score 14-13 now, and the Raiders set to kick the PAT. 10 minutes left here, second period. Wow, what an explosive game.
What an answer by South Range the last 2 drives.
Snap, kick, line drive. It is good. We're tied at 14. 10 minutes left here in this second period.
Boy, I tell you,
all.
at 14-0 after that kickoff return by Cam Colley, it looked like we could do no wrong, but then South Range just very methodically started pounding us off tackle, and they have had enormous success off tackle and off the perimeter just outside that tight end. And you're right, they're throwing guards up in there. We saw this before. 6, 7, 4, 5 holes. Those tackle to tight end to wing holes have been there for them.
An 80-yard and a 70-yard drive.
And, you know, not many teams can do that on the ground against Liberty Center, and they just did it twice.
Yeah, that's been pretty impressive. Well, we said that, you know, this team has been battle-tested all year. They've been in these wars. They weren't going to panic. Time for Liberty Center to put a drive together here, run some clock, and get a response.
Now, Canfield's going to load up on Liberty's run because we are not known as a passing team, and we got a 20-mile-an-hour wind in Grady's face, so they're going to take some shots against our run.
Now there's going to be a few wrinkles, I think, that's going to be shook out here. All right, so Canfield will kick off. 10:07. We've had enough action for about 3/4 of a football game here in only 14 minutes. Liberty in the 5-2-2-2. Line drive kick, that's going to hit at the 15-yard line. Bounces around, scooped up at the 5, looks for a lane, cuts through one, breaks a couple tackles, and Liberty Center advances the ball up to about the 23-yard line.
Well, after an early 14-0 lead, Canfield has really shown some grit with really big answers on offense in the run game. Liberty Center now needs a drive here. You know, Canfield did a good job, Brian, of stuffing us in that last drive.
They did.
Liberty likes off tackle and inside run, 0-1 trap and dive. Let's see if we can dial up some big runs here.
All right, we'll see what adjustments Liberty Center makes. 10 minutes left here, second period. We're tied at 14.
Hey, Canfield's not ranked number 1 in the state for nothing. This is going to be a ball game here.
That's right. All right, so the Tigers come out with a wide out to the wide side. Full house backfield, Miller under center. Give to the third back, trying to kick it outside. Cuts and follows a block. Pounds forward up to the 30. They're going to mark it at the 32. It'll be a gain of 4.
5 and
Did
6
you call
guys.
it? Yeah, 6 on the line.
5 and
almost
6
4
guys.
linebackers and a deep safety.
I mean,
that's it.
we're not. They're taking a chance that we're not going to throw it against this wind.
Yep.
And they're going to try to get this football back. But good run there by Thomas Moeller.
Garber spread wide to the far side.
All
Liberty
within
with a wing
5
right
yards.
package. Miller under center, now motion this way. They're going to give it to the motion man, Gary Cruz. He'll nosedive forward for about 2 more on the play. So Liberty Center looking at 3rd and we'll call it 4 yards to go from their own 29.
Michael Chadbourne, 6'1", 210 senior. You know, he won his battle and tripped up Gary. So big 3rd down by Liberty Center. Need a first down here to keep this drive going.
All right, Zider, the tight end on this side. Garber spread out wide to the short side of the field. Now they shift over to a power right with a double wing package, single setback. Give straight ahead, and Rentz runs right into nothing, runs into a bulldozer. He'll pick up a yard, but that's going to bring up 4th down. No gain on the play now, they mark it. No progress on the forward progress.
Well, we don't see many teams able to go toe-to-toe up front, but they're outnumbering Liberty Center in the run game a little bit. Watch that replay. Ooh, got good penetration early and then came down from that outside linebacker spot. So another stop by Canfield.
All right, good snap. They get the
That's a great
punt
kick.
off,
Great
and
punt.
that's going to take a great roll and hit about the 40 and bounce down to the 28-yard line. So 21 and 22, a 43-yard punt. That was excellent considering the wind.
And a single receiver back there, and he did a good job of just kicking it about 8 yards to his left. Offensive right, receivers left, and, you know, good job. Really good punt by Max Walker.
That was. Flip the field here.
Now Liberty's got to make some defensive
get stopped
adjustments
here.
off tackle right here.
All right, so Canfield comes out with 2 receivers out to the wide side of the field. Ball in the middle. Quarterback keeps it right into the heart of Texas, and the Tigers right there to stop that for no gain on the play at all.
Hunter Spangler's in there, and certainly Xander Zider in there, but that just feels like they're just keeping us honest with inside run.
Yeah, they're going to come back
See
to
if they're
it.
going to come back off tackle or outside that wing. You're right, Brian. A lot of outnumbering, a lot of guards being pulled in the 6 hole. We've seen that 6 power trap. They've run it effectively tonight.
All right, wing set to the left. The same 2 wideouts. Now motion coming to the right side along with the 2 wideouts. Quarterback's going to keep
throw
it,
it here.
rolls out, fires over there, caught up across the 35, up to the 38. It's going to be close to a first down depending on the spot.
Now that's Tristan Toy. He's got the wind at his back. Now they have the advantage throwing it. Kind of a half roll. He threw a bullet into his receiver to get the first down.
That's a tough route. That little curl, Gavin Nagy's, that's his favorite route, and he has good recognition of it. They hook up there.
7 minutes left here in the second quarter. South Range sets 3 trip receivers to the far side of the field. Give right up the middle, pounds forward, and it's going to be a gain of about 3 on the play on first down for Southfield, up to their own. Well, they're going to mark it at the 41.
Just like Liberty Center, Spike, very patient in their offensive attack, continue to hand it off. Dave Rock You know, a defensive guy knows the importance of banging it up in the tackles, up in the 0-1 hole.
Yep.
Staying patient.
Wide outs to the far side, ball on the right hash. They're going to run power this way, right into the teeth of the Tiger defense, and maybe a yard, and that's it. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Stephen Brogan, Xander Zeider again, good combination play. But again, you have to give him credit. Aiden Dominguez runs with some power.
Yep.
He is a strong kid at 6'3", 225.
Got a couple there.
Well, I guess there's a lot of pivotal plays in a football game.
This is one of them.
It. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Canfield, 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Has time, now has to scramble. Gets pressured, has
Good
to
job,
throw it
Cammy.
out there. Incomplete. Excellent coverage by Cam Colley over there.
Well, that's a great job by Cam, right on the money. You know, he was there. He met the ball right on time. Good defensive play. But, again, Tristan got out of the pocket a little bit. Liberty pressured him just enough.
Good job by Stephen Brogan. Stay home, put pressure on Toy there. Kind of rushed that throw. Big stop there by Liberty Center.
That was a big stop, Spike. Good job by the defense.
Yes, all right. So 4th down and 7 from the 42. Back to punt. Low line drive. That's going to hit it
Field
to
it,
30.
field it.
Take a
Good.
big hop. Liberty will scoop it up back at the 15-yard
job.
line. And banging straight ahead up to the 25. A good return.
There's a flag
under
on the play.
circumstances.
There's a flag
Uh-oh,
back on the
yeah.
45-yard line.
Back at the original, near the original line of
Line
scrimmage.
side.
Maybe holding against the kicking team would be a good big-time penalty. Let's see where it's at. Good job. Illegal
Okay.
use of hands or holding against
Yeah.
Canfield.
Wow,
Be an
that's a
extra 10.
10-yard mark off.
Big.
That field position's huge.
Here we go. We got 5:40 left here.
And the ball
Let's
after
see if we
half.
can't just drive
Now,
this sucker
Liberty
down.
Center pointing to where the ball is right now. That is on their own 27.
We're going to get 10 yards.
Well, they're going to they're walking it off after. This was on the return, apparently. Rather than on the kick, it was after we actually fielded it. That was an odd call. But anyway, it's walked off from the spot. Anyway, the ball's up to the 35 instead of back around the 27.
Let's watch this Canfield defense getting good penetration, getting that second level right to the point of attack, Brian. They've been very good against Liberty's run.
Folks
All
at home,
right.
count them up here. Watch how close they are, these linebackers. They're going to get 8 or 9 right within 5 yards of line of scrimmage. Look at that.
Double wing
6,
package
7, 8.
for Liberty Center. Now they run motion to Moeller. No pound straight ahead to Rentz. Rentz,
Big run.
he'll twist and spin and bang his way up to the 40-yard line. Tough 5 yards.
They show 5, and then they walk up 2 and 3 in those off-tackle holes. Liberty's had great success, Brian, running off-tackle, those pitches, you know, those 4, 5, 6, and 7s, and that's where Canfield's really focused their work.
5:14 clock running here in the second quarter. We've got a 14-14 tie with South Range. Tigers have a double wing. Now motion this way. They'll give to the motion man.
Good
Cuts
cut.
right through the hole there. Big
Good
there
cut.
with Moeller. Breaks another tackle at the 50. Cuts outside and finally hauled down at the 40-yard line. 20 yards. Thomas Moeller dipping and doing, cutting to the left and hard back to the right.
That's
Tigers in business.
awesome job by the left side of the offensive line. Good run by Thomas Moeller, and they ran right into the teeth of the added 2 guys that walked up. You know, if you break that first level, Brian, you got big yards. That was Thomas Moeller there.
Great cut back.
All right, now they have Rentz or Garber wide to this side, Gary wide to the far side, out of the eye in the backfield. Give to the second back. And
Fullback
he's
down the
no-
middle, got him.
Got him again,
What a
caught
catch.
again down at the 25-yard line, down to the 20. Play action pass works, and that was Garber.
No.
No,
Yeah. Hammondtree.
Hammondtree the grab.
No,
wow.
it's Lonazak. Excuse me.
Lonazak made that
Lonazak.
catch.
Yes, what a catch.
Wow.
Caught that over his shoulder like Willie Mays in 1954.
Ooh, baby.
Was he at fullback
No,
there?
he-
Went down the middle?
I think it was a tight end down the middle
Okay.
is what it was.
Tell you what, great play action pass right there. And
Get this.
Jack
With the doctor
Bartel.
ordered. 4 minutes.
Jackson
Yeah.
Bartels brings a play in. Tigers with a tight formation.
Wildcat. Waylon Rentz.
Bobbles the ball. Rentz cuts forward. And what could have been, Rentz had to pummel the ball. Remember, this is cold out here.
Brian, you
I'm
talked
not
about
cold.
it.
I'm loving it, but
I wouldn't want to catch the football in this weather.
Well, here's
No,
the
sir.
deal. You know, you put a guy back there, doesn't take a direct snap. He drops it. That play looked like it had potential.
It did. I think we had him outnumbered.
All right, 2nd down and 8. Gain of 2 for Rentz after he recovered his bobble. Now the Tigers show a wide out to one side. Double wing package, single setback, Miller under center, motion right. They're going to give to the motion man, Gary. Gary pounds forward,
nice
down
run.
inside the 25, and powers down, nose dives down to the, the 12. My yard lines were off there. So actually, Liberty Center with the ball now on the 12-yard line. That was from the 17.
I love it when a running back puts their hand on the ground to finish a run. Gary, very athletic, propelled himself for 2 more yards. Great run.
3rd down and 2 now at the 12-yard line. Tigers with a double wing package.
Got to outnumber the right.
They're going to run a quick job there. That's
Uh-oh.
quarterback. Keep them around the end, down into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. Wow, explain that play again.
That thing was run off tackle. Liberty had them outnumbered at the left side of the offensive line. They blocked down, and there was nobody there. When you watch the replay,
Waylon Rentz.
Waylon Rentz
made
ended
the
up
block.
Great job downfield, but I think that's Tyler Lay as well. Is that 51 there?
Yeah, it is.
My goodness, Liberty. That's how they win, is they get to the 2nd, 3rd level. Man, that was just a great job with the left side of the offensive line.
All right, good snap, good hold, kick on the way. Good! And the Tigers have forged their way. They battled their way against the wind. Oh, excuse me. 70 yards for a sustained drive touchdown to take a 21-14 lead here with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, we just matched Canfield. We just basically out Canfield. We got physical with them. And, again, Casey Moeller, Nick Miller, Ryan Miller, 3 of the best game run designers that you're going to see. And, man, they put together a really nice run combination on that drive there.
Oh, man, that was a beautiful thing. And what a drive. And we were losing a little momentum there. To gain momentum back right before this half, we got 2 minutes. We can get a stop. We get the ball. Start the second half. That was a huge drive by Liberty Center.
Momentum's a great word, and it's used a lot. I love it. I use it myself. But, with Liberty Center and the way that they're playing football this year, I'm not sure momentum can even apply to them. The game may swing, but it's only because of the actions on the field. I don't think the Tigers think momentum.
Mentally correct, Spike.
Mentally.
This team is battle tested. They've been in some wars this year, and they're not going to back down. They're not going to lay down.
You're looking at 38 seniors in this game. These guys, both programs, have seen a lot of winning, a lot of tight games, and they've been to state championships. So you're not going to fluster either team.
Right. All right, the wind blows the ball off the tee again, so Rosebrook resets.
Now, Spike, you made a call earlier. We were at Perrysburg a couple years ago, and that seemed like it was 38 below, like I was in Alaska. my toes have officially fallen off. I have an ankle and a bunion left on my feet.
Oh, yeah, you got it. You got that right. I get you. All right, here's the approach. The kick, low bounder, and picked up. He went to the knee, and the ball is going to be put into the series will be put into play at the 27. That ball bounced around, and the up back that actually went to picked it up with his knee touching the ground.
Scott, I got a hand warmer up here I can give you to put
put it on his feet.
Why don't you put your turkey leg down and put your bathing suit on up there in the 86-degree?
We wish. We got windows open and doors open. And,
I don't feel anything. I don't feel my toes either.
Here we go, Tigers.
Play football. Here we go. All right. Tigers lead at 21-14.
We're outnumbered
2.5 to go.
We're outnumbered here.
In the second quarter.
Yep.
Back to throw, throws it underneath. That
Cammy.
pass sails incomplete. Tigers defended it well. It was simply a quick out pass to an underneath receiver, overthrown.
You know, Brian, they were having so much success off tackle and off wing, and then they went inside run and tried a few throws. I understand you have the win, but man, I tell you what, stay with your strength there. They kind of went away from off tackle.
Kind of surprising.
All right, 2nd and 10.
Here we go, up top of your screen.
From their own 27-yard line. Wideouts to either side, motion this way. That means they usually keep it. He'll roll this way. He'll throw the home run ball, and that's going to be way out of control. The Tigers had double coverage with Miller and Garber both surrounding the receiver.
Hey, Blake Garber has been 5-star.
Yep. Garber's having a heck of a year.
Yes,
he's had a great year and a really nice second half. That was blanket coverage. You knew they were going to try to throw the ball downfield. That's not what they do. When they just start throwing balls downfield out of the shotgun, that's not who they are. You know, they do it off a running off tackle.
2:29 left in the first half. 21-14 Liberty Center. South Range out of the gun. Motioned over to the far side. Now rolling to his left. Looking, trying to throw. Gets it out there. Dumps it low, and it's going to be caught up around the 38.
That's a big first down.
And that's close to moving the chains. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st and 10. That's a tough play.
Yeah, Tristan Toy rolling to his left and throws a bullet to the receiver that was right at the sticks.
All right, now they run power off that left side. That runs into a whole host of Tiger tacklers.
There was.
Maybe a yard, and that's it. Liberty Center, good adjustments now to that off-tackle play.
They're going to go in a hurry, a little sugar huddle here, get to the line of scrimmage with 2 minutes to go.
All right, they're going to give him 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7. Out of the gun, rolling right. Looks, throws it up.
Oh, what a pick!
No!
Wow!
Hang on, what a dive by Collie! Collie launched his feet, was parallel to the ground, had his hands on the ball when he hit the deck. The ball popped loose, but he read it, he had it, he knew it. Tough break for Collie.
Whoa, what a play. He was shot out of a cannon. What a jump. Collie's been doing that his whole career. What a jump route he did. That was fantastic route jumping.
At corner play, Spike, you got to be able to stick that foot in the ground and get out of your break. And, boy, play the film back. Cam Collie, get out of your break.
He did get – I thought he gobbled. That is an interception. What a play. Now motion right with Moeller. They run power to right.
Go, man! Yes, sir!
He's open. He's at the 20. You can forget about that.
Yeah!
It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown, and they go ahead 27-14. Can you believe it?
How do you like me now, Cam Collie, the senior, the Waylon Red senior at offensive line? Just put it to South Range. What a series.
What a turn of events.
First of all, I thought Collie lost the ball when he hit the deck. It was an interception, and one play later, Rents.
Whoa.
Motioning back to the ball, cut through.
Man, oh man. What a job by Liberty Center right here.
The line drive kick is up. It's good.
Golly.
It stayed within the left upright on that line drive.
What do you think about that, Brian?
That is PAT number 80 on the year.
Cam Collie just blows up like a cannon and jumps that route. He was about a half step from a touch if he could have kept his balance. And then the offensive line just tears Canfield inside out. For a gigantic run by
I know.
Waylon
You
Rents.
only remember what's in the present. That may be one of the greatest all-time jump routes
ever.
Picking it off on a dive that I have ever seen at any level.
To the wide side, Cammy saw that when he jumped all over it, and man, oh man.
You've been calling Cam Collie
he can stick
all
his foot,
year
man.
long, a
He
guy
can
that
really
can explode on a route, and man, that was just perfection.
Wow.
Well, look at this turn of events. South Range driving to potentially tie Liberty Center. We get a pick, one play, boom, we're up 2 scores. What a turn of events.
Hey, Spike, Liberty has found something in this run game. A couple, as you have
No
said,
kidding.
a couple of little critiques and moves, and it's work. Explosive again in the run game. Liberty up 28-14.
There's still a minute 42, and we've seen 6 touchdowns in the first half. 28-14 Liberty.
Shootout.
And Toy doesn't throw picks. I mean, he's thrown
threw
3 all year.
Yes.
You know, he
You're
takes
right.
care of
That's
the
right.
football.
Good stat.
Well, he hasn't met a guy named Cam Colley
That's
yet.
right. Man,
Welcome
oh, man.
to Mr. Colley's world. Wow.
That's how they do it on Saturdays and Sundays. Man, oh, man.
Wow.
That's good corner play.
All right. Rosebrook sets, approaches. Here we go. Line drive, kick again. That's going to hit at the 20. Bounce picked up at the 15. Returner the long way around and right into the teeth of the Tiger defense. Gets up only to the 25-yard line. The special teams kickoff unit does it again.
And the coverage teams have just been blue ribbon. We say it all year long. Brian Hefflinger has put a lot of work into this group. Jackson Lonazak was almost right there for a no-gainer, but good job by Liberty and their coverage teams.
Caden Sonnenberg cleaning that one up.
Now, minute 37. Tigers need to bend but don't break. They're going to have to maybe give up that short run, but we've got to protect the bomb.
I see more throws here with the win.
We got to get another guy here.
Yep, trip receivers
3-2.
to this side. Now back to throw. Quarterback launches. Tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Who got their paws up?
Spangler and Xander Zeider were right on the spot. And, last week we saw those guys get their hands in windows. This week was huge.
Man, oh, man.
Another big tip by Liberty to put them at 2nd and 10.
From those trip receivers, they had one breaking across the field on a post route.
Yep.
That's what that was going to be, the high, long bomb, and it was knocked down. 2nd down and 10. Now hands off the left side.
No, sir.
Tigers there, and they throw him back for a
Oh, he took the ball! Oh, my gosh, they took it out of his hand!
It's a Liberty
Oh, my goodness! What in the world?
About that?
Xander Zeider! Whoa! Just stole it!
They ran into a host of tacklers, had him thrown for a 2-yard loss. Somebody, a bit of chicanery, yanked the ball away. That's thievery.
The Hamburglar, Xander Zeider, in that massive pile. He just ripped it from Dominguez's hands and went for the. That is humongous.
What a play.
That may be.
Have we ever seen anything quite like that?
No, I have never seen a play like that.
To the house.
The crowd on their feet.
Here's the kick. No, it's a fake.
Throw it back.
Running it out. Launches the
That's a
left
great
hand
throw.
up in the air and knocked down incomplete. Tigers, it must have been a low snap, a snap problem, but it was Kreinbrink, the holder, who picked it up, rolled hard, and launched it to the end zone incomplete. But an unbelievable turn of events. It was 14-14, and that so-called momentum we yacked about.
Wait a minute, you don't believe the momentum?
No, I don't believe it. That's right. Spike, you're a liar and a thief in your own right.
What a series of events by Liberty on offense. A Cam Colley takeaway, a Waylon Rentz explosive run, and then Liberty gets that off tackle, Brian, piles it up, and then Xander Zeider, I believe, steals the football and goes the distance. Liberty 34-14. Where in the heck?
What just
Where am I?
Hey.
What did I just see?
That's just like a Thanksgiving turkey
A
flag.
turducken.
Yeah,
That was a turducken.
Whoa.
No way.
Holy mackerel! How can if you're sitting there and you're piled up and you've got this guy gang tackled and you look at the ball and it's right there for you, yank it away and go to the
Let me just say, though, as a matter of how runners, they want to stay up and drive. Sometimes when you run high and you stay up, you get vulnerable. That football becomes vulnerable, and that's what Liberty did. They stacked him up and took the ball from him. That was outstanding.
All right, a bounding low kick and caught at the 28. And again, the up-back who caught the ball went to a knee. Didn't mean to, but the ball's thrown dead
Spike,
right there.
You're an old baseball, softball guy. Jack Buck makes a call one time. I can't believe what I just saw. Remember that? I can't believe what Liberty sent it up 34-14, and they put 3 touchdowns in a matter of about a minute and a half.
Unreal.
All right, 34-14.
That's awesome.
1:20 to go. Now Canfield with the ball at their own 29. Double wide out to the
Reverse.
far side. They're going to run a reverse. Has to belly it deep. Picks up yardage, though, up across the 35, up to the 38. It'll be a gain of 7 on the play.
Canfield will get into a quick 2-minute here. They've got some timeouts. They probably feel a sense of urgency to score before the half because Liberty gets the ball at half.
Well, for all you Tiger fans listening in, this is unbelievable. All right, wide formation this way. They're going to just run a dump up in the inside. He's thrown for a 3-yard loss on the play.
Waylon
Wow.
Rentz delivering the smackdown there. Good job by Liberty. Canfield again in a hurry. Click and clock is down to 56 seconds. Third and
All
5.
right, 3rd and 5. They're going to say his forward progress was stopped at the 35.
Watch that post again
so
here,
now,
Spike.
Single setback, drops back to throw, looks, throws over the middle.
Oh!
And that's gonna be too high, incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down with 41 seconds
That
left.
was this close to another turnover. Again, this is not what South Range wants to do, is sit in the pocket and throw it around. That almost was another turnover, but Liberty Center, the crowd just electric after those 3 touchdowns.
An interception, and like it says in the Bible, a thief in the night came along and turned that into a touchdown.
We got a snap
kick
problem
return,
here.
and a high floater that's going to hit at the 40, and it'll take a roll for South Range. Right now, Liberty Center content to get the heck away.
Well, I would just say this. Liberty in the run game has found the formula again. Those first couple drives, well, again, there's that coaching staff.
Yes.
We've talked about it all year. They find it. They find those right combinations. So much IQ in the booth with Ryan Miller, Todd Spangler, Brad Howe. You just can't give these coaches enough credit.
Wow.
You're right.
How they turn the tide and they understand exactly what they've been given. Canfield, great job on a couple of first drives by Liberty, but, oh, man, Liberty Center has answered.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. 28 seconds left in the half. Tigers with the ball at their own 30. They're going to line up in a protective. Quarterback takes a knee.
Yes, sir.
And that's the end of the first half. The clock will run out here. An unbelievable turn of events here. I can't even imagine it. 34-14, the Liberty Center Tigers over the South Range Raiders. Oh, man.
Hey, guys, before we take a halftime break, let's break in with some scores. Coldwater 21, Bluffton 0, and Ironton 43-7 midway through the second quarter. Marion Local 27, Columbus Grove 6 at halftime.
What's that?
So,
What's that?
all right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our halftime break here from Byers Field. And Liberty Center leads at half 34-14, and we'll be back right after this halftime break. I can't talk.
Tonight, our entire halftime show was picked by the senior class. Please enjoy the Journey hit, Separate Ways. Senior flagline captain Julia Dispenza wrote tonight's flagline feature. Feel free to sing along and wave your arms to the classic YMCA. As our seniors prepare to move on to life after high school, we want all of them to remember the road to get back home, and hope that they return to say hi and share with us all the great things they are out offering the world. Enjoy the performance by senior trumpet soloist Toby Sell, and sing along with the band as we tribute the class of 2025 to the John Denver hit Country Roads. the South Range Raider Marching Band. We would like to thank our season sponsors, Myers Family Insurance, Chris Berkey Plumbing, Power Sound Audio, and Wayside Law Instructions for their support of our music department. Thank you, and go Raiders!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field of marching pride of Tiger Country, the Liberty Center Tiger Marching Band. The band is led onto the field this year by drum major Savannah Hernandez and band captain AJ Seedorf. Tonight, the band is bringing you our senior show. This show is dedicated to the graduating members of our band with a group of songs selected by them. To kick off, we bring in the multi-talented senior extraordinaires, Robbie Lamb, with his choice with a surefire way to start off this halftime show. This is Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas. Drum major Savannah Hernandez, is your band ready? The field is yours for your halftime presentation. Next up, we bring in the music of Ozzy Osbourne, chosen by this year's senior band captain, AJ Seedorf. This is definitely fitting for the feeling that is tough to leave high school when you just got on top. This is I Don't Want to Stop. the show. And for our final song, there's a special treat for you all tonight. This song is a perfect choice for those 60s that are still young and kicking. Loving senior drum major Savannah Hernandez, brought to you by the Beatles. This is Let It Be. The Marching Tigers are in the direction of Mr. Liz Lebanon, assisted by the Right Rep and Big Red Advisor Rachel Ruizzo. We would like to thank the Liberty Center Music Third Service, the LC community for supporting us and being our biggest fan. And as always, go Tigers!
All right, we're back here, halftime at Byers Field in Parma, Ohio. The Liberty Center Tigers leading the Canfield South Range Raiders 34-14. And wow, what a first half of football we had. Scott, I know you got stats, but I'm not sure those stats will tell the whole story.
No, I think the numbers will be a little different than what you're used to, but what a fantastic finish to the half. Liberty Center just exploded with a couple big turnovers. And let's get into the numbers. South Range has 162 yards rushing against Liberty Center's 102. That might be the first time all year that we've seen an opponent outrush Liberty in the first half. South Range 162, Liberty Center 102. Another inverted stat, Liberty Center 61 yards passing against South Range's 34. Another number that we rarely see, Spike Whitman, where we're leading in pass yards. But you talked about wrinkles, and you saw two of them in the pass game. Big explosive plays. South Range 9 first downs, Liberty Center only 6. Each team only 1 penalty each. So you're talking about a pretty disciplined group of guys. I said earlier, I think there's a total of 39 seniors or 38 seniors on the field. All right, rushing leaders, Waylon Rentz, Liberty Center, 5 attempts for 53 yards. Thomas Moeller, 3 attempts, 26 yards. And Garrison Cruz, 4 attempts, 21 yards. Grady Miller has been the story of the first half, 3 for 3 for 61 yards.
Yeah.
Was he 3 for 4 or 3 for 3? He missed one pass.
He missed one.
3 for 4 for 61 yards. Garber, 2 receptions for 41 on that big play early. That was just a tremendous job on the play-action pass early in that first drive. Aiden Dominguez, 62 total yards rushing. Tristan Toy, he's 5 for 12 for 34 yards. Liberty Center's tacklers, Xander Zeiter is just playing out of his mind. 8 tackles.
Whoa.
Garrison Cruz with 8 and Blake Garber with 5. But you cannot say enough about how Liberty Center responded to some adversity there. And certainly Canfield stood toe-to-toe in the center ring, but Liberty, deep in that second half, took control of this football game.
Yeah, and it's always offensive stats. We look at the rushing.
I got tackles in there.
Yes, but the tackles. This time it was Liberty's defense that reared their competitive heads and really took this game right into their own hands, bulldog them just like a battling a steer at a rodeo.
Jigo, 2 turnovers there, and the one in particular was just mind-numbing, the jump on the route from Cam Colley.
Ooh.
And he has been doing that
Yeah.
his whole career. If you're watching film and you're Canfield, that is a dude you just don't want to make a lot of short hitch-ups or some of those option routes that are inside those numbers, Yeah. I mean, those are dig routes. I mean, he's all over those routes.
You can't throw to the wide side on Cam Colley where he's got time to make that break. Boy, he was shot out of a cannon. What a read. What a way to stick your foot in. And how about him on the punt return? We didn't even talk about that. We had a punt return. We had the interception, turnaround, Waylon Rentz touchdown. Then you had Xander Zeiter's thievery.
Thief in the night, yes.
And then he took it to the house, not only to steal it, but to go to the house. Unbelievable
we
finish.
Talked about Dominguez, how well he runs. He's strong. He stays on his feet a lot like Waylon Rentz, but he runs higher. Waylon Rentz runs low. Those shoulder pads almost touch the ground. Aiden Dominguez runs higher. And you run higher, you can get in and rip the ball away.
Yes.
Liberty's defense did that. That was big time, 34-14, and they get the ball at half. Spike Whitman.
Well, now, there are a lot. Obviously, it's the old story. There's still a whole half to play.
For
There's
sure.
a lot of football. Liberty, I believe, is going to have the wind in their face.
Yes.
Now, it is paramount that we come out and get some clock, use some clock. We've got to be able to try to run the ball successfully, keep possession of the ball for one of those patented long Liberty Center drives.
Well, and Brian, we talked about it. We've talked about it all night long. 20 seniors. They've been doing this for a while. They're number 1 in the AP, tied with Ironton. All those, there's a lot of reasons why this team's not going to panic, and they're going to stay right in this football game. They get a stop against Liberty Center, they're still in this football game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you already saw it. We jumped out to 14-0 lead. Looked like we had
answered
everything going, answered with 2 quick scores. So this team can strike. They can strike quick. This is an important drive here at Liberty Center coming out of this half.
You got it.
How cool was the Xander Zeider
Unbelievable.
steal and touchdown. Now that is a
Xander Zeider. I remember
player.
this vividly. He was a little upset. He wanted to be the fullback.
Yes, he did.
He wanted to be a guy that run the football, and he wanted to score a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. This was a year ago, and he was afraid he would never do it.
Well, he did it.
Baby cakes, it's different now.
Brian, I liked some of the adjustments Liberty made on off tackle, off wing, 6-7 run. The last 3 or 4 times they ran those plays, Liberty's defense was there, on time, point of attack stuff.
All right, so here we go, just about ready to start. Lined up, short drive, kickoff taken down there at the 15-yard line. Looking for space and battles his way up to the 30-yard line. One of the upbacks.
Jackson Bartels maybe,
Yep,
huh?
Jackson Bartels, yep. So a good return under the circumstances up to the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at the 31 as we get underway here for half number 2 in the semifinals of the state championship tournament, Division 5. Liberty Center 34, South Range 14.
Not that it's important, but Ironton 50-7 at halftime in their game.
They can go get some points quick.
Now the Tigers show Garber spread wide out to the far side. Another wide out to that side with a double wing, single set. Moeller, no, they hand off straight up the middle to Rentz. He's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all.
Doing a good job against that 0-1 trap. They've got 6 guys up in the box with their hand down. And Liberty Center has had some success in the 0-1 trap. Not that time. Good penetration by South Range to put Liberty Center off schedule at 2nd and 10.
Second down, 10 yards to go for the Tigers.
Yeah, number 54's had a big night. Patrick Lally inside. He's created a lot of havoc on the inside on that nose.
All right, Tigers come to the line. Wing right set with a wide out to this side. Motion this way to the strong side of the field. That's where the Tigers are going with Rentz. He'll pound forward for maybe a yard more, and that is all. It's going to be 3rd down and 9. So right away, South Range making a defensive statement.
We're going to get a 15-yard penalty, I believe, here on Waylon Rentz.
Oh man, we have avoided the big 15-yard penalties, but and we're going to have to punt this football at some point against the wind. And if it's 15 against us, I do not like that. Luke Starkey, one of their top linebackers, he does a great job reading and getting downhill. Tackle for loss against Rentz.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Tigers.
I think a little dust up after the play there. They got Waylon, I believe.
Post possession, and the second guy always gets caught.
That's it.
Now you're 3rd and super long, and the wind in your face.
All right, now the Tigers may just play contain here. They're back at their own 17. 3rd and 24 into the wind. We got 2 wide outs to the far side. Miller back, he'll keep it, runs it off left tackle, and he'll get up across the 20. Pickup of about 5. But Liberty Center looking at a 4th and about 20 yards to go, and they'll have to get this thing out and away from everybody, even if it's a short punt into the wind.
That's exactly how Canfield wanted to start the half, Brian, is get Liberty against the wind, get a negative play to start the series, and then Liberty gave them a 15-yard penalty.
Watch the block here. They're coming.
Good snap.
Oh, he's
they
free.
Get rid of it.
Jeez.
And high floater calls for a fair catch back at the 45-yard line. Under the circumstances, Tigers were as successful as they could have been. 35-yard punt. So the wind maybe didn't bother that as much as what it would have in the first half.
Well, I think the 15-yard penalty gave them great field position at the 45. They're 45. That thing could have been down to the 30-yard line, but here we go. Canfield looking for an answer early.
This is where we started with the football in that first quarter. So Canfield with it on their own 45. Wide out to either side. Quarterback out of the gun. He'll hand off, heading around that left side. Tigers meet him right there. He's got good second effort. He'll push him up for maybe 3 on the play, 4 on the play.
Boy, that left side of the offensive line blocking down, Guards kicking out. They're throwing a motion man up in there. A lot of bodies blocking those 5-6 holes, Brian, and he runs hard. I mean, we've talked about it. Dominguez is a little bit like Waylon Rentz. He will finish runs.
All right, they wind up giving him 5. Second down and 5 right at the midfield stripe early here in the second quarter. Give off that left side again. He'll run into the Tigers there. Got slowed up in the backfield. No gain on second down.
You've said it all year, Spike. You got tackles and you guys that make plays. Jackson Bartels, from that sniper spot, really got upfield and forced Dominguez inside, and Liberty did a good job on their run fills, and excellent job by Jackson Bartels.
If you change Dominguez's, he doesn't get up to speed as quick when you have to when he changes positions or changes directions.
Couple wide outs to this side out of a wing left. Wing left in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it right up the middle. He'll pound forward, and the forward progress is going to get him a first down to Liberty Center's 44, gain of 6.
You know, we've had a couple quarterbacks in this playoff run that like to get, up the field, and they finish runs. And this Tristan Toy is a physical runner, Spike. He isn't afraid to put his shoulder pad square and drive the pile.
9 minutes left here in the third quarter. 34-14 Liberty Center, but South Range moving the ball.
There's
they try to go around the outside, breaks one tackle. He'll run into another host of tacklers, and that's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
That's Stephen Brogan. He forces that play inside, and then your defensive linemen get there. Hunter Spangler on time. Good job by the linebackers, but that was disrupted by Stephen Brogan.
Yeah. Stephen Brogan, one of those hardcore.
Well, they're getting those guys up the field on the off-tackle play.
Not letting them get outside, change direction, cut it back in, and then that's where your help is.
And that's where Liberty, Spike, is really good, is inside run defense.
All right, second down and 12 from the Tiger 46-yard line.
They're overloaded to their offensive right here.
Out of the gun, straight drop. Looks to throw, a lot of pressure. Breaks away from there, battles his way forward. And the Tigers stop him after about a 3-yard gain. That's going to bring up third down and 9.
Well, that was almost a catastrophe. Liberty got home with 3 guys, but great job.
Yeah.
Quarterback Tristan Toy, just an athlete. He escapes and gets himself some positive yards.
Kellen Weimer broke through the line there. He almost had him a big sack.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. There was nobody to throw to. All right, third and 9 from the Tiger 43. Out of the gun. 3-step drop. Looks, throws, out route.
Got it!
No! That's the tip drill. Liberty Center with an interception at the 35-yard line. I believe it was Colley on the first.
Grady Miller, I believe, Spike on the tip, and Jackson Bartels with the pick.
Grady on the tip. Wow, what defense!
Yep, Grady Miller. What a pick by Bartels to stay with that. You kidding me?
Grady Miller dug his feet in, came back, caught up to the receiver, laid enough of a hit on him to get the ball in the air.
I'm telling you, Grady Miller and Cam Colley are difference makers on defense. They're 2 of the best corners we've ever seen wear the black and orange.
All right, Colley spread wide to the far side. Graver over here. Garber over here. They're going to run power off the side, running room to the outside.
There you go.
Puts his head down, battles across the 45 up to the 46, a gain of 12, and Liberty Center with a first down.
Brian Babcock, you want to stop off tackle? We'll go one more hole outside for 11 or 12 yards. Great run and good blocking by Liberty's left side of the offensive line.
Gary doesn't need much. You give him a little bit of crease.
There's Kellen Weimer again. They love running at that sophomore. He's a big-time offensive blocker, I'll tell you.
All right, a gain of 12. Tigers up to the 40, their own 47 now. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Liberty Center retaining the 34-14 lead. Now motion, Moeller powers it off the right side, tripped up. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Great penetration from South Range.
Well, Aiden Dominguez, I think, came up from his linebacker spot. Again, the key for South Range to win these plays and snaps is to get penetration. Is if Liberty gets you covered and gets you running on your back, Liberty's got all the momentum there, but good job by Dominguez, good tackle by South Range.
All right, ball again at the 47-yard line, their own 47. Wide out to either side with a wing right set. Miller out of the gun. Miller now hands off to the motion man. He's hitting the backfield, breaks one tackle. Still going is Gary Cruz. Pounds down inside the 50, down to the 47-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6 for Liberty Center.
And the clock is ticking. Tristan Troy came up from his secondary spot and again forced that play, but I'm telling you, Gary Cruz runs physically just like Waylon Rentz does. He's not going to go down with an arm tackle.
All right, Tigers now with a 3rd and 5, and with the wind as it is, although it has slowed down, hasn't it?
It has.
Yes, the wind has slowed down, but the Tigers at midfield, you never know. 3rd and 5 now at their 47. Under the gun, pitched outside to
Big
Reds,
hole.
kicks it outside.
Get
Now
up there,
breaks
get
the
up
tackle.
there.
Back inside the 45.
There you go.
Still pounding and driving down
They're
the
gonna
picks
get him
up
first
the
here.
yard
Effort. That's
to
second
the
effort.
43.
Spike, I think the second effort got on this line judge was moving his feet up the field. What a great run and hard run.
Yes, that is going to be close.
They're calling a 4th down, I
And they're going to say it's 4th down, but it's going to be less than a yard.
believe. Jumbo package. Here we go.
Yep, and this is the place on the field with the wind as it is, cold weather. I think you try to keep the football.
Well, watch him, too, on a long count to get him jump off sides. You never know.
All right, full house backfield. Miller under center with 2 tight ends. Miller keeps it, drives forward for a yard and a half, 2 yards. That's a Tiger first down.
You know, you saw Grady go up and take a look, and he saw a little crease in that 0, kind of 0.5. That's a senior.
Yes.
He didn't get underneath center real quick. He wanted to get a good read. Great job, Grady Miller.
Those legs were already driving before his head and his shoulders got buckled down.
And Spike, Brian will tell you, that's oftentimes no count. That's a silent communication
Little
between
goose.
the quarterback, little goose in the center.
Yeah.
And Clayton
All
Seal,
right.
big-time block by Clayton.
Yes, all right. So Liberty Center, 1st and 10 at the range, South Range 42. Full house backfield. Give to the 3rd back in the power. Cuts it up inside.
Get up, Tama.
Breaks a tackle. Cuts it through the outside. Heading down the field to the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 22 yards for Moeller.
Boy, that's
the power back in the full house.
I'll tell you what, South Range is getting what they want here, Brian. They're getting penetration, but Liberty is running gritty, tough, and hard. Great job by Thomas Moeller, spinning, driving, no arm tackles tonight. Not going to take Liberty's runners down tonight.
Great cutbacks on this drive. You saw Gary on a couple, Waylon on one.
Finishing.
And then Thomas Moeller that time. Great cutbacks by these backs.
Collie brings the play into the game. He'll spread out wide to the far side with a double wing package. Single setback is Moeller. He'll give it right straight up the middle. Pounding forward. A big
Get off!
Still on his feet. Still driving
Yes,
and pounding
sir.
inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. A gain of 18 yards and the Tigers knocking on the door again.
You know what? I turned around and I'm watching Rex Lindgren. He's like at a movie theater with a popcorn. Run that 0-1 trap again, baby. Great run. Those 0-1 traps have been great runs for us tonight, Brian Babcock.
Wow, Waylon Rentz, he knows how to do it too, man. He ran into a wall and came out and almost broke that thing loose.
Yes, that was Waylon Rentz, my bad. All right, now the Tigers with a wing right set, 2 in the backfield, offset to the left, Miller under center. They give to the motion man, cutting to the end zone, and down.
Touchdown.
It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. He stretched forward and battled his way for the extra foot. Liberty Center in the end zone. They lead at 40-14.
I tell you what, we have run that wing off power, like off tackle power to perfection late in the year. Gary, we've known that Gary Cruz looks like Waylon Rentz 2.0, but man, oh man, what great blocks and what a finish. He might have been down. That arm was down, but he reaches
got the
over.
little stretch.
Extra effort. Great job.
All right, now back for the PAT kick. Here's the snap. Low snap, good grab. Kick is good, but there's a flag on the play.
Talk about a back-breaking drive there by Liberty Center. They get the turnover and then drive it all the way down.
Yeah, we started out, went 3 and out, and a punt to midfield. They had everything where they wanted, but another defensive gem. That's 4 tonight by Liberty Center.
Love it.
That's why they play 2 kinds of football, offensive and very defensive.
See if Ian can put this one in.
All right. Good recovery on the snap. Crime brink. Good hold. Set down. Kick by Ian Rosebrook, good from the extra 5 yards away.
That was crushed, man.
Yes.
I mean, that ball was crushed over the end zone seating area against the wind. Good golly. He's eating his spinach tonight.
Yes. Oh, man, it's only better. Now, we can't count the last one because they never kicked it. So now he is 6 out of 6 tonight for, 81 out of 82.
You are an encyclopedia on Ian
No,
Rosebrook.
I only...
Say, we got to keep you alive till Ian's. You're like his personal keeper, statistical magician.
Hey, with 3 minutes left here in the third quarter, guys, I wasn't quite expecting this. I really wasn't.
Nothing like
No, I was not expecting
especially
this.
not the way it got to 14-14. This game got tight, and all of a sudden it didn't.
Man, oh, man.
Wow.
This defense has been turning people over all year and turning it into points.
3 of them tonight. 3 turnovers, all have turned over for scores.
All right, now let's see how South Range responds. I'm telling you, you folks at home that are only able to listen in because we can't broadcast it video live, come back at 10 o'clock if you're at home. You've got a barn burner to look at. This is a great one for the ages. Here's the kick. Hits at the 25, bounds down to about the 12, return, left hash mark, and he's going to be stopped right
Roars.
there. What job by the special teams again.
Brian Hefflinger's walking around with his shirt off and his chest out.
Yeah.
That coverage team, man, been doing it all year. Great job by the special teams of Liberty Center. And it was Orth.
We've scored about 75 touchdowns this year. It's no doggone wonder this kickoff team is great.
And they're hungry.
Yes.
Hungry.
All right, so 3 minutes left in the third quarter. 41-14, first and 10 at their own 22.
Oh,
back to throw, lobs it up there.
Picked.
And it's picked off again.
Moeller.
Threw it into a crowd, and the safety,
Moeller.
Thomas Moeller, doing his job, going with the ball, steps up to the plate, jumps the route, takes it away, and the Tigers are back in business again.
That is the 4th turnover Liberty Center has gotten, and I'm telling you, when you're South Range is not a pocket passing team.
Yes.
And as much as you love Tristan Toy, he's made a bunch of mistakes tonight, and that was a bad one right there.
Yes, it was. Floated that. Safety coming over. Great read by Thomas Muller. Grady was there in tow. Thomas coming over the top. Great read. Great interception.
Brian, in our breakdowns of this game, we didn't see Tristan sit back there like an NFL quarterback very much.
I don't understand
He
it.
does not look very good.
Get him out of the pocket.
Garber spread wide to the wide side of the field with a double wing package, single setback. They give it there, pounding up the middle, twisting.
Oh, he
and
runs
turning,
hard.
Bearing a tackle, still
Oh,
going,
my
pounding down
goodness.
inside the 20-yard line,
goodness.
down to the 20. It's a gain of 18 yards for Liberty Center.
I'll tell you what, that's another 0-1 trap, and he was stopped at a 2-yard loss and took that thing 14 yards after the 2-yard contact that they made, Spike. Waylon Rentz just grinding yards here and clock. 41-14, Spike Whitman.
Right.
On the drive.
2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Colley spread wide out here with a double wing set. Now motion out of the wing, give to the wing back, and hit in the backfield. Moeller didn't have a chance. Great penetration. That's what they wanted to do all night. And that time it worked, and a loss to 2.
That's Gary typically coming from the wing, but that time they put Moeller in. Moeller is Thomas does a great job reading blocks and cutting. They might have wanted to put him in that opportunity to cut back because he's got such good vision.
All right, so now Garber spread wide to the far side. Ball near the left hash. Double wing set. They're going to give it straight ahead. Breaks off, pounds off one, but South Range all over that one, and the Tigers only get a couple back down to the South Range 21-yard line.
I'm not
a minute
so
42 left in the third.
Spike, I'm not so sure if Liberty gets 2 or 3 more yards, they don't run Ian Rosebrook out.
I
That
think,
extra point, he crushed that extra point.
Well, then we'd be a running clock too, right? Because it'd be 30 points.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so Liberty Center sends 2 wide outs to the wide side. Now a trip receivers over there with a single setback. Miller out of the gun. Now,
Yeah.
flag on the play. They blew the play dead before they ever got it. I assume that's going to go against Liberty
Cade
Center.
Crimebrink at quarterback there, and that may have been just a different rhythm.
Crimebrink. Okay.
He was a quarterback, and that might have been.
I think that's only the third penalty from Liberty
No,
tonight.
it's going to be walked off against.
Oh, wow, they
South
got
Range.
South Range. That's big. Wow.
Wow,
All right,
encroachment.
Encroachment. So
That
now,
54 has been really close all night. He's been
That-
right on the ball.
Yeah.
I wonder if they didn't get his helmet over.
Yeah, must have been. All right, now 3rd down and 7 for Liberty. Ball at the 17-yard line of South Range.
I'm going to say it right now. Liberty scores a touchdown here. This game is over.
The same strip receiver set to the wide side. Crimebrink, single setback. He's going to roll left, cuts it up inside, and he'll pound down to the 15-yard line. Gain of a
Flag.
two tough ones.
That may be a chop
They
or
got
a
a
block
hold
below
or-
the waist.
Yeah.
Holding.
I believe that's our first call tonight for any kind of a bad block, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think we just had a delay a game, that holding, and then the 15-yarder. That
Yeah.
pretty clean for the most part tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we want to keep the clock going. That's a big penalty. That does take you out of
Yep.
field goal range right there. Liberty was knocking on the door to get some points. This might be a 4-down territory type deal.
Okay. As they reset the down box, that will make it 3rd down and 17 to go. We're under a minute left in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers leading, but they need to control the ball here. Now,
Reverse.
a little reverse. They kick it a buck inside,
cut.
breaks one tackle, still going, pounding down to the 20. Boy, the Tigers get back 8 yards of it, so now a 4th down on the 20. They're going to need about 8 to go.
This is right on that edge of Ian Rosebrook's range against this wind in case he wants to go for it, but he may send out Ian to kick it.
Here we go,
here
Ian.
comes Fissenreiter, the long snapper. And they're going to set up for a long field goal. The ball will be spotted.
Max is kicking this one.
Max Walker, their extra long distance field goal kicker.
Yep.
Here we
They'll
go.
spot
Gotta go,
the
gotta
ball
go.
at the 27-yard line. Here's the snap. The hold is good. Kick is up. It's on the way.
He got that. No,
It
a little short. A
is
little short.
Just short of the crossbar. Had the height. He had the direction, but came up just short.
That wind just killed
Yep,
that thing,
the
didn't
wind-
it?
I mean,
Holy
it looked,
smokes.
it was kind of winding back towards that left post, but ooh,
That wind.
that's kind of gutsy to bring a guy that's not kicked all night
Yeah.
out to kick that against the wind. But hey, Liberty Center in
Oh, it
control of
was.
this football game.
He
It was
had her
right
lined
there.
up. He had
was
it lined
right
up.
Wow, that was just underneath the cross. Oh, man.
Hey, couple halftime or couple score updates. Coldwater 28, Bluffton 0. We've got Ironton 63, West Liberty Salem 14, 3rd quarter. Marion Local 34, Columbus Grove 6. And a local Toledo score, final, St. Ursula takes out Central Catholic 6-0.
Whoa.
6. Oh,
Wow.
gee.
It was the Fighting Irish of St. Ursuline against the Fighting Irish of Central Catholic.
That's Youngstown,
6-0.
St. Ursuline?
I think it's at Cincinnati or is it
Or is it-
Youngstown?
I don't know.
Probably Youngstown.
Doesn't say. Wait a minute. Youngstown.
Okay.
All right, so at the start of the 4th quarter, Liberty Center on top, 41-14. With the ball, they run a sweep around the outside. He's got running room, and Liberty Center finally catches up at the 50. It's a gain of 30 yards on a wing sweep, a jet
And we
sweep.
got a flag in the backfield.
Uh-oh.
I'll take it. That was Troy Combs.
One of those stinking, rotten, no good yellow flags just
Wait a minute.
turned red, white,
That
and
was
blue.
not a stinking one against them. We love that one.
No, that's all orange and black.
Red, white, and blue.
Well, there it
Yeah.
is. There it is, Brian. They got outside the end.
Yeah.
They got outside the snipers for a big gain. That was Troy Combs, and he's done that all year long from that wing spot.
That key is getting our defensive end pinned down so they can get outside of it.
Yep.
I think that's where the hold took place on Kyler Kern there, though, that time.
So So now first and 20 from their own 10.
Now that is a huge
Yes.
penalty.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That was the first play of the fourth quarter. They come out in a double wide out to the far side. They're going to keep it, throw that route over the middle. Never got there. Moeller came up, made a dive for the ball, submarined the receiver. He went flying.
Man, I'll tell you.
Incomplete.
Brian, I just keep saying the same thing. If they're going to rely on Tristan Toy from the pocket, this ball game is ours. I mean, that's just not what they're built to do.
He looks better throwing on the run out, and then it at least gives him a run option. Not sure why they're not doing that.
All right, second down. Double wide out to the far side, the wide side of the field. Motion in that direction. He sets up. They're going to
Steve
Brogan. Right up the
Brogan.
middle and loss of a couple yards. Liberty Center ate that one up, spit it out.
I'll tell you, there's no better blitzing linebacker than Stephen Brogan. I'm just telling you, there are guys that are good against the pass, there are guys that are good against the run, but that guy is great on the blitz. Stephen Brogan, all year long, blowing plays up. What a play.
He's got a feel for it. He's got a knack to time those snaps up, get up underneath.
That wing had no shot. He won that thing right on the snap.
All right, now it's third down and 23, 11 minutes here left in the fourth quarter. They're going to hand off, heading around the right side, and negligible gain, 2 or 3 yards on the play. They only get up to the 10-yard line, and that's going to bring up fourth down, and here comes the punting unit for South Range.
Now they can punt it against the wind. I wouldn't mind getting this ball to about the 30, 35-yard line for Liberty Center to put a dagger drive together.
Number 7's back there now. Look out. He's kind of been hot tonight.
Who's that guy? Is that a new guy on our team? Cam Colley? Not sure if I've called his name those 2 years.
Tigers with it. 9 men up. Short punt. That wind grabs a hold of that. It'll take a good
hot for
South
them.
Range roll, and it'll blow dead right at the 50-yard line. So about a 35-yard punt into the wind, and the Tigers will take over there in the fourth quarter. 10:28 remaining. 41-14, Liberty Center on top.
There was a moment in this game that I thought Canfield was starting to find the right formula to get after Liberty Center. They outgained them at half. 162 yards rushing. It was impressive. I mean, rush yards. But Liberty has Matt Bryant's done it all year with that defensive staff. They found it. They found how to get him stopped. And 4 turnovers later, Liberty Center is looking dead straight in the eyes and getting back to a state title game.
All right, Garber spread wide to the wide side of the field. Tigers on the right hash near this Tiger sideline. Here's a little bit of a reverse. No, it's a dive right up the middle. Pick up a 5 yards. They sent motion one way, sent a reverse motion the other, and it was a dive up the middle for 5.
Again, that 0-1 trap has just been a go-to play for Liberty Center, Brian. And when you played, it was a go-to play. Yeah. It's a hard play to stop.
It is. It hits so fast. That and the dive just hits so fast. You get one little block, especially Waylon Wrench. You give him just a little bit of a sliver of light, and he's gonna make big yards out of his good run.
All right, Clayton Seal leads them out. Tigers come to the line with 2 tight ends and a wing right set. They're going to give on a dive right up the middle, and that's going to be good for 3 more, down to the 42 of South Range.
Thomas Moeller again. That wasn't much in there. Then he works his feet, gets skinny in the hole, Brian, and picks up important 3 yards right there.
Yeah, here we go, and that clock's just ticking away.
Yep.
About to get under 9 minutes after this snap, and
Casey loves 3rd and 2. He's got all kinds of plays for that one.
Boy, I tell you what, my nose might be running, but I can start to smell something, fellas. I don't know. It might have the initials SF State Finals. We'll see. 3rd down and 2. They give it power right up the middle. A dive right up the middle. Good for 3. It's a Tiger first down to the 39 of the Raiders.
Yes, sir. Now the clock really becomes a factor because Liberty, obviously, we're in control of the scoreboard, up 27 points. But, man, Liberty Center just the defense tonight. The defensive backfield has been fabulous. 4 turnovers tonight, Spike, and that little flurry, 3-touchdown flurry at the end of the half.
Wild.
Man, oh man,
wild
I
sequence.
Haven't seen football like that in a long time.
All right, Cruz the wing over on the left side.
Oh boy.
A little fumble on the ground, diving for it. I believe Liberty
it's gonna be a
was
false
Rents
start.
maybe that recovered.
Be a false start. I don't think Casey's going to be Casey's not going to worry a whole lot about it. He wants that clock running.
2 straight drives, a total of 150 yards of total offense in 2 drives. We're playing darn good teams, but with the darn good adjustments, Liberty Center has been, for the most part, bottled them up ever since. Some great defensive plays, of course, spearheading it. All right, the Tigers now 1st and 15 from the 44. Power straight ahead, and Moeller battles for about 6.
I think that was
Back
Waylon
to the
Rents.
39. Rents?
That was Rents, but Moeller was the lead blocker.
Okay.
I could
bad.
kind of see how you could call Moeller there.
Number 19, Waylon Rents carries the ball for the Tigers.
Rents was only getting 5 or 6 carries a
Yards
game
right.
for the first half of the season. That certainly changed tonight.
Well, how many yards does Waylon Rents get if he gets 20 carries for 14 games? That's about a 3,000-yard back right there.
Yep.
All right, 7:25. Clock continues to run. Garber spread wide out to the far side with a wing left with Cruz. It's Miller on a keeper, comes around the end, powers down to the 35-yard line.
Keep that
Gain
clock
of
going.
5 more.
Keep
and
that
the
clock
Tigers
going.
now with a more convertible.
Brady Miller keeps the ball for the Tigers.
Third down, we'll call it 6 to go from the 35 of the Raiders.
To go for the Tigers from the Raider 35-yard line.
Liberty Center eating up a lot of clock.
I was just thinking the other day, Napoleon decided no longer to play us. They didn't want any more Liberty Center football.
Right.
And I think they got real tired of getting smacked in the mouth by the guys like Waylon Rents and Garrison Cruz.
All right, double wing. They give it straight up the middle, and not much running room there, but the clock continues to run. Maybe now back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That'll bring up 4th down on the 35-yard line of South Range.
This is all about the clock, but
Gonna punt it here, it looks like.
as I was finishing saying about Napoleon quitting on our rivalry to play someone a lot easier, could you imagine how many yards Waylon Rents gets against Napoleon if he gets 25 carries? He would have ran them down like dogs, but I don't blame him for not wanting to play us anymore. They should, though.
All right. He attacked the snap,
What a
came
kick.
up
Oh,
to
wow.
what a good roll.
Look
and
at
that's
that.
gonna roll down. It's going to go down of bounds in the coffin corner at about the
Man.
2-yard line. What a job, 33-yard punt. He ran up almost like a Canadian Football League, ran up with the ball and pooched it
Be
down.
careful. Be careful. The Canadian Mafia might be listening.
man.
We
It's
still
like he's
have
got
those.
that
That's
thing.
right.
Max Walker's got that thing on a string, don't he?
Max
He's just sitting there
Walker
pulling that thing back.
is pitch. He's pitching it. He's like pitch and putt down there, man. Inside the 5. What a weapon.
5:51 left in the ball game. 41-14 Liberty Center. Standing in the end zone. Throws
Oh,
that
yeah.
slant over the middle.
Oh,
of
Yes,
that.
sir. Blake Garber
Garber.
for turnover
Whoa,
number
Garber
5.
Again. Wow.
Turnover number
Garber.
5. What a play by Blake.
Interception. He came from nowhere.
There it is again, Brian. We're going to stand in the pocket. We're going to let Tristan Toy just throw it like he's an NFL quarterback. I think that's been a terrible miscalculation for
understand.
South Range.
Well, if you look at an offense that was productive against Liberty Center, it was Oak Harbor's.
Yes.
And Lalonde was out of the pocket.
Yes.
When he was creating, he could throw it or run it, and they haven't tried to do that tonight. I don't fully understand
He
it.
just stood back there in the pocket and has thrown interception after interception. And Liberty
And they
Center,
have rollout game.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have it.
Spike Whitman, you're smelling. You're
Yes.
smelling
Oh, yeah,
what Liberty's
baby.
cooking right now.
Yeah, baby.
We're going back to Canton.
All right, double wing package, single setback. Now motion this way. They'll give to on a jet sweep, hitting around at 5, down to the 3, to the 1. That's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Just watch the offensive
and
line.
The clock is
blowing
running.
people out, blocking people down. That offensive line just completely dominated that snap. The right side just caved everybody down. You had Max Walker kicking out, everybody doing their job. Waylon Rentz. Wow.
Team just keeps coming.
It will be the battle of the Tigers for the state title as Ironton is now up 63-21 late in the fourth.
Kick is up. It is good. Ian Rosebrock continues his quest of scoring. Wow.
Well, Liberty Center well on their way to Canton, man, and the crowd
Here we go.
starting to enjoy. This is going to be a five-minute party, Spike Whitman. How do you like it? Liberty Center fans, the seniors, Amanda Mathias, who's a big part of this, keeping everybody healthy. How about Liberty Center back-to-back in a state final, Spike Whitman? My goodness.
Who'd have thunk it?
The team without
Yes.
just did it again.
Yes, and we wondered all year, started the season, how good are we going to be? Oh, we're not going to be that good. We lost everybody. We're going to the state finals.
Just fantastic football. Nobody panicked over here when South Range was starting to get some plays off tackle. Matt Bryan, Casey Moeller, Nick Miller just drew it back up. Liberty shuts it down and goes and gets 5 turnovers. Whoa.
Man.
That is overwhelming on the defensive side. And
When you think of Liberty Center defense, it's raw bone defensive line play with the linebackers mopping up. And it's a war up in the trenches. Tonight, it's been everything but that. This has been the entire defense raising and rearing its head.
Hey, guys, I got a question for you. What's better than practicing on Thanksgiving?
yeah, practicing a week
Baby,
later.
you
Practicing
betcha.
the next week.
Yes, they were out there Thanksgiving morning from 9 to 11. Oh, the kickoff. High, comes down about the 12, return up the right hash, and they're going to nail him again inside the 25-yard line. They continue to do an exemplary job on coverage.
18-10.
Yeah, that was Jackson Lonizak again. Number 10, Mason Smith. Just the coverage teams. We just say it over and over and over again. That thing at Oak Harbor was a rare thing to give up a touchdown.
Yep.
All right, so the Raiders come out with the ball on the 25, 3:54. Kyle Locke continuing to run down. They're just going to give it straight up the middle, and he's going to be stopped trying to go straight up the middle for no gain on the play.
The towel has been thrown in at 48-14, and a good South Range team has been beaten tonight. Soundly, Liberty playing elite complimentary football. The staff has come down from the booth, and
It's time
the
to celebrate a
celebration
little bit.
quietly has begun, Spike.
Yeah, we got old crew out here on pass coverage. 2 wideouts, motion this way. They reset. Quarterback's going to roll out looking for running room. He'll break one, but a great open field tackle. I believe that was
Navarre and I believe Sonnenberg.
Yep, Navarre made the play.
Sonnenberg 22 in on the hit.
Well, Sonnenberg doing a good job at
56.
the sniper position, blowing that thing inside. Again, the run fits have been outstanding.
Yep.
After the second drive, Liberty locked this thing down. Good job by the defense.
Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6. Clock at 2:45. Couple wide outs to the far side, motion to the far side. They're going to give it to the
Got
wing
it.
on a jet sweep and brought down over there on the
Tyler
far
Roars.
sideline.
Like that.
Yep, Roars on the tackle, pick up a 6. It'll move the chains of 1st down for South Range, but that's going to go for naught. You know, Casey made a very good statement. We're not playing this game for revenge from 2 years ago. We're using that as a learning tool, as a yardstick to see what we can apply to this one game 2 years later.
Can I tell you a secret? He's right.
Yep.
He's right.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you right now, there's some fellows that wanted a little retribution for that game, and I got my hand up. I was one of those guys. I wanted some back. We returned the favor from that dominating performance, but that South Range team in 22 was the real deal.
Yeah, they were nasty,
and they went down and they smoked Ironton, a good one too.
Yeah, they did.
But this is a return deal. You know, Liberty got their opportunity to get them and got them.
Well, we've talked about this team and the depth and the seniors all year. They've been such a joy to watch.
It is.
Folks at home, and this senior class is one to remember.
18 of them.
And man, they got a chance to go achieve the utmost highest goal of the state championship.
Hey.
They got one more shot next week.
Hey, real quick story, Jim Meeker. When he first started coaching at Liberty, Montpelier was pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
Hobie Krause, and you remember that.
I remember those days,
Hobie beat Liberty Center in 79. I think he beat him like 60-6. And Hobie was awfully happy with himself beating up on a bad Liberty team. The next year in 80, Jim Meeker put 60 on Hobie. Hobie says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, shut your mouth, Hobie." Jim Meeker, shut up, Hobie Krause. Fantastic.
All right. With the ball, they run a sweep around the right side, and a lot of action, a lot of pounding and grinding, good for about 4 yards. A minute and a half to go on the clock on its deadly run here, heading down to the zeros.
I don't know who I'm going to campaign for, but I'm telling you, Cam Colley, dude.
Ooh.
Cam
Set the
Colley.
stage.
Oh, man.
Do we need to really talk about it, guys?
I want to end this post game quickly because I am frozen to death. Goodness.
Okay, couple wide outs to this side, wing right. They give the jet sweep around the right side. That'll be good for about 2 yards. Liberty Center swarms to the ball, and they shut him down there just up across the 40-yard line. 55 seconds, time for another play. Liberty Center in control, 48-14.
I will start the pregame in 45 seconds.
Yes.
Or the postgame.
I'm not sure that Bergstrom will have the final numbers that quick, but we can get the numbers at the end and award our player of the game here.
All right. Out of the gun. Handoff, bobbled, now recovered, picked up, and the Tigers swarm there. And by golly, about 9 Liberty Center Tigers made a team tackle there, and I believe that's going to do it. Clock running down at 15. That's it. This one's over. Give your name to the clerk. The Tigers win it going away. 48-14 over the South Range Raiders.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going back. We're going back, guys.
Man. Oh, man. Spike, how sweet is it, man?
How
sweet is it?
The state final.
Oh,
you read about it, you hear about it, you watch it, and now Liberty Center's got that chance again.
You know, we had Thanksgiving here yesterday, and you sit back and you're thankful for all the things you have, your family. You know, you're thankful for your church and the Lord, the relationship you've got with Him. But, man, I am thankful to be able to be a part of Liberty Center tradition and folklore and watching these kids do what they're doing in back-to-back years, Spike. I am thankful to be able to watch that. That is I am thankful.
This is truly a spectacle.
It truly is.
Liberty Center won this game tonight going away, but they had some hardships. They had some tough times in that second quarter, and boy, look out now. But man, when they put the turnstiles into the open key, look out now.
That was a blitzkrieg at 14-14. Cam Colley jumps a route, and the whole world changed. The whole world changed.
Yes.
And you talk about momentum and how you feel about it, but I don't know what you call it, but from that moment on, Liberty Center just put that into another gear and just did not look back.
Exactly. What changes? All of a sudden, their offense throttled down. We nailed them up. We hit it into high gear and took that raging offense away. I mean, the changes. What exactly couldn't you put a finger on what we did?
Yeah, that's big time. The defense obviously won this game. I mean, our offense did some great things, but Brian, 5 turnovers.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, 5. Just think about that. And Xander Zeider's turnover and score was just an absolute backbreaker.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've been talking about this coaching staff and adjustments all year long.
Yes.
South Range had 2 drives, and we're kind of looking at each other like, ooh, that looked kind of easy.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it stopped, and it was no more. So that's coaching with a minor adjustment. I'm not sure exactly what they did there, but they shut that thing down, and it was over with from that point on.
Yep. They were gashing us with outside run. And Spike, Matt Bryan, you just can't say enough about Matt Bryan, the way he designs schemes and game. You can design something schematically, but you've got to call it. And then when you call it, there's got to be adjustments made on the fly. The staff is phenomenal.
Yep.
Yes.
It's phenomenal at just basically seeing what they're seeing, all the communication that they have, and then the adjustments that they make in game. That was fantastic work tonight by the defensive staff.
We talked about it before the game. This team is what you would call the ultimate warrior, not warriors. This is one thing. This is one team. There are no heroes. There's just a bunch of humble guys that come to work with their lunch pails and their blue collars, and they put it together on the field and put the hammer down.
Well, it was a pleasure to watch this team had to get into the trenches a little bit, up 14-0, and you're kind of feeling good about it.
Yeah, my chest got puffed out.
I did, and all of a sudden, your chest goes back into your heart at 14-14. But again, 5 turnovers, big night tonight. The running backs they started getting back to Liberty Center basics, finishing runs, reading holes. The offensive line then took control. I think they even fed off the defense.
Yeah.
That offensive line said, man, if you're going to keep giving me the ball, I'm going to deliver, and they did.
And I think coaching adjustments on offense too, because that couple drives there where we got stuffed, it was looking like, ooh, man, they got a run figured out, and then, boom, the flip switched, and all of a sudden those 4 or 5 outside runs got going. And boom, we started rolling from
Here
there.
they come, Spike. You think the Liberty Center faithful that drove 2 hours to sit in 18-degree weather enjoying this a little bit?
They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere, baby.
Oh, man.
What a
this
team.
Is great.
All right,
senior class.
Hey, you popsicles down there.
Yeah, you got it.
You ready to start the KK Collision post-game
Let's do
show?
it.
All right, it is time for the KK Collision post-game show. KK Collision, the leader in the automotive repair industry, right here in Liberty Center. High tech, no problem. They'll fix it. And now, who is the Kent Dog Tough Man player of the game, guys? Do we really need to discuss it?
I don't know that we do. I'm going to let Brian start it off because my vote has been etched, but I want to hear some honorable mentions.
Well, I'll tell you what, the play by Xander Zeider was absolutely outstanding. Not sure that I've ever seen that in a high school game. Complete stealing of the football and then taking it for a touchdown. And then you had a bunch of tackles there as well. Another guy, obviously, Cam Colley, sets it off with the punt return for a touchdown. That was such a big play to put us up 14-0, and then to be able to stick his foot in the ground and go take that. And he almost kept his feet and took that to the house, but then, boom, the next play, Waylon Rentz, touchdown off to the races. So I got to go Cam Colley. I mean, this is a great team effort. We had defenses flying around. Five turnovers. You kidding me? This kid threw 4 picks tonight. He's thrown 3 all year. This defense finds way. I could almost say just the defense.
No, let's not get Spike started on
I love that call, Captain.
No, wait, did you give your vote?
Cam Colley.
Cam Colley, Spike Whitman.
I think for the impact of what he did tonight to turn everything around, you got to go with Cam Colley. But once again, to give it to one
I want to give it to everybody.
After an effort like this, I like the whole defense like the captain was turtling about.
No, I'm not voting for that, though. Hey, I want to throw a name out because he just did dirty dog, hardcore work tonight. Was Thomas Moeller.
Yeah.
Thomas
Yes,
Moeller led
I like that, Captain.
He led block on many, many runs. You know, times where you thought he had the ball, and nope, he was the lead blocker for Waylon Rentz. And then on defense, man, at safety, I got to watch him. And I'll tell you, all those pass plays that, almost were sacks, and he had to turn around and run, Thomas Moeller was just eyeballing him and waiting for him to throw the ball. So I'm going to vote for Cam Colley. But I'm going to tell you what, Thomas Moeller, he's a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog tonight. I'm gonna add a couple names. Xander Zeiter, he has been just. And Rex Lindgren and I talked at halftime. We got a chance to talk to the head coach at Mineral Ridge, a game that we played back when Eric Weimer was throwing around people, and we had an epic battle at Mineral Ridge. And he's saying, the head coach said, "Listen, you guys play like a bunch of dogs." And I said, we do. We really do. And they did too at Mineral Ridge. But Liberty Center tonight, Xander Zeiter has played like a dog the last month and a half. I'm telling you flat out, that's a first-team All-Ohio defensive lineman. He was a huge part of stopping the run game tonight by South Range. I mean, he just put his foot down. I thought Goose had a big game tonight. Very quietly, if you watch the film, and you watch 55, basically, as Brian says, lockout, immovable. Those running backs had to make different choices because Goose was doing his job on the inside. But to me, it is a unanimous vote. I just felt like Cam Colley's interception there in the second quarter just changed the entire game. And everybody was energized. Heck, we were energized in the booth. Yes. It was just such a phenomenal effort. And an explosive effort by Cam Colley. And then Waylon Rentz answers with a huge 0-1 trap, big run for a touchdown. And then Xander Zeiter gets him a defensive score. And Spike, that's 3 touchdowns in under 2 minutes. Wow. That was remarkable.
Incredible.
So Cam Colley is my vote, but a lot of dudes contributed tonight. I like the Thomas Moeller vote.
Yeah.
He had a heck of a ball game, but Cam Colley is my
I'll
vote.
settle it since I'm kind of like a senior statesman here.
You're the old man of the group.
Yes, the old man, yeah. I say it's going to be the triumvirate of Cam Colley, Xander Zeiter, and Thomas Moeller. I'll give it to all three.
There you go. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I love the pick. After all, this is Kent Dog toughness.
It is. All right. Well, there's your Kent Dog triumphant player of the games, the tough like Kent Dog. And I'll tell you what, I know he's smiling right now.
Oh, buddy, you got it.
Oh,
Kent
my
Dog.
goodness. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get out of here. We're frozen like popsicles even up here in the booth.
Oh, no, not anymore, baby. I'm cooking with gas.
Hey, real quick, can we see Bergstrom up there to get any final numbers? Is he cooked out? Brady, you see him over there to your right? Good. Thumbs are down. Take us out of here, Spike.
Hey.
Oh, here he comes. Wait, here comes the numbers.
All right.
Hold on. Bergstrom Barrett at the very last minute.
Bergie.
Good job, Berg. Let's see. Oh, here comes the final numbers of the game.
All right, we're out.
We're out?
No, we got it. We're cut.
Shut us off. All right, here we go.
Good hustle.
Well, we're still live, but we have no video.
Oh, so we can still give the stats then. Okay. Let's do that. Bergstrom Barrett, thank you. Liberty Center finished with 231 rush yards. South Range 200 pass yards. Liberty Center 61, all in the first half, but all huge. The Raiders 34 total yards. Liberty Center 292. The Raiders 234. Liberty with 14 first downs. The Raiders with 11. Liberty with 5 penalties for 40 yards. The Raiders 3 for 24. 5 turnovers for the Raiders tonight. South Range, Liberty with 0 turnovers. Waylon Rentz, 14 attempts for 105 yards. Thomas Moeller, 8 attempts for 62 yards. Grady was 3 for 4 for 61 yards in the air. Waylon Rentz with 9 tackles. Xander Zeiter with 10, double digits tonight. Garrison Cruz with 9 and Kellen Weimer with 6. Liberty's defense on lockdown after the pick.
In the second half, I noted from those stats, Liberty Center held South Range to only 2 first downs in the second half.
Yes.
Wow. Hey, boy, that says it all. That's a mark statement. I'm telling you, I am flabbergasted. I am overwhelmed. Liberty Center had a lead, 14-0, went 14-14 when they came back with 2 sustained drives, and after that it was all Liberty Center. That's it. That's all we need to say. For you folks listening in, boy, you just have to tune in when this is live here.
And it will be available after 10 p.m. tonight.
Excellent.
Wow.
Awesome.
48-14, Liberty Center comes back and puts on the steamroller. With that said, everybody, it's good night. We're going to state. Good sports.